All right. This is King Bucho. Welcome to BDA Boxing, the Boxing Debate Arena Special Edition Kumite. The Kumite. Everybody's been waiting for this show for a long time. You got it. Debates, timed debates. So I'm gonna have to open the timer over here. I forgot to open it. Uh, before we continue, or before we begin, I should say, I would just want to thank Mike P for being the donor for the month of October. Thank you, Mike P. Again, you're on a roll. We appreciate your donations. Also, honorable mentions, Father Jack Hackett and G Boogie, of course, the one and only. Guys, thank you for supporting us and everybody who donated in the month. Sorry, did I say October? The month of September. This is for the month of September. Guys, thank you for donating. Names are on the screen. You guys help BDA be great again. Actually, be great. It's always been great. But anyways, all right. We already have Stu Little here and D Jefferson from Speak Your Mind Sports. All right, guys, welcome to the show.
What's up, brother?
What's happening, fellas?
What's up? What's up? You guys ready to debate?
I guess.
Well, I have to open the phone lines.
I've been thrown in with as a late, not a late replacement or something. I didn't know nothing about a fucking debate.
No. Well, if you guys want to jump in or if somebody challenges...
Oh, I get what you're saying. I thought me and D were going to the Kumite and having it out.
No. The way it works is like, listen, we're going to talk boxing. We're going to talk about a little bit about what happened yesterday. I think Mr. BDA is already there. Mr. BDA, are you there?
Yes, hi everybody. Yeah, I thought maybe it would be better if we mentioned last night's sensational fight.
Yep, let's start with that because I know you wanted to talk about it. So let's get that out of the way and then we'll move on with the Kumite. So go ahead, Mr. BDA.
Well, actually, I was expecting maybe if somebody else wanted to start. I'll start if somebody else wants.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Well, okay. Well, yeah, I mean, this is just boxing. I think it was on Bucho's end. I think he's back.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think we're back. It's,
yeah.
All right. So where were we?
Last night's fight, man.
Right.
Last night's fight, Ivan Baranik, Jose Sepeda. People expected a good, decent fight. I mean, it was two top contenders, right? Oh, by the way, Butcher, you're going to have to reset the chat on the OBS because it's
okay,
frozen. Okay. Oh, yeah, it was a fantastic fight, man. I mean, I think it went beyond our expectations. It's interesting when you got a guy like Sepeda. This is just what happens, and we've talked about this before in terms of punching power. You look at Cepeda's record; he's got 26 knockouts out of 33 wins. Now, I did the same mistake that I usually admonish people over, which is that we judge a puncher as overrated as a puncher because he's knocked out nothing but bums. And it was the same thing with Sepeda. But even if you're knocking out bums, that still means you're an above-average puncher because there's people out there as prospects. You look at the records, they're 16-0 and they only got like 6 knockouts. It takes good, solid punching power to be knocking out bums. And Sepeda, he looks a little sloppy, but I mean, he obviously packs quite a wallop. The first time he went down, man, let me just say something too. Those first 2 knockdowns against Sepeda, I think they were iffy. I didn't really see him getting caught the first. I think he got caught with like an arm a little bit in the first one, and then the second one there was actually a headbutt involved. But nevertheless, it was still an exciting fight because he was getting tagged up. Baranik is an animal, and man, what a great fight! Anybody else want to comment?
Yeah, Baranik sort of had the fight in his hand and threw it away. And the problem with Baranik, you just can't fight like that and expect to have a long career or a successful career. I mean, I think the problem was he was flying in. He was getting Jose Sepeda hurt, but he was flying in, trying to get the job done. And he was getting caught with shots himself. I mean, just flying in square on with his chin in the air. And I think Sepeda, what he was doing was punching with Baranik. And it seemed like he seemed to be the first to the punch as the fight went on. He just started to get his timing right and he started to land the big shots. I mean, Baranik just was getting tagged up with everything. I mean, it's just it's everything against what the boxing purists like, but it was very exciting. That's what happens when you get two guys in there that defensively are useless. You get a good fight. But Baranik, I mean, maybe one too many wars for Baranik by the looks of it. I mean, his punch resistance seems to be going a little bit now as well. I mean, he was eating a lot of he would have ate a lot of these shots a while back, but they're starting to fucking hurt him. That's just too many wars.
Yeah, and Jose Sepeda is just like you said, Stu. His timing's better. His technique is a little better. Baranik was looping a lot of shots. And
yeah, he was.
Sepeda was like getting under those, and his technique was just a tad better. Maybe it been a little quicker as well. So he was beating Baranik to the punch. But man, still, it was a great freaking fight, man.
Yeah, it was brilliant. I mean, that's probably fight of the year. I mean, it's going to be that's the sort of shit you see in a Rocky movie, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It was just an amazing fight. But defensively, I mean, if you're going to break down the performances defensively, both fights were dreadful. I mean, Baranik, I just couldn't believe the shots he was getting hit with, and like I said, it was just Sepeda technically more sound. First, basically timing him better in the latter rounds, and he was first to the punch in the latter rounds. It became where he started to take over. Baranik went in early, sort of blew his load, but Baranik was just trying to knock this guy's head off with every punch. And when you start loading up like that, you leave yourself wide open for big shots. And he was falling short with big shots at times. And then in the pocket, he was just getting mid-range. He was getting caught with massive shots as well. I mean, look, long road back for Baranik. And I thought Baranik was a real dangerous customer in that division. I thought he would give everyone a good fight, but maybe that Taylor beating was probably the last straw for him. Do you know what I mean? Because it looks
Tim
like
Bradley.
his punches.
Yeah, Tim Bradley said that he'll never be the same again, just because So maybe he will need to retire. It just looked pretty bad.
The thing is, though, like I said, if you fight like that, then you're not going to have longevity in a career, Joe. You're just not. You cannot fight like that for long. Away with it, and this is the problem. I mean, Baranik was getting hit with some big shots recently. There's just no defensive work there for it. It's just nothing that convinces me this guy is going to polish up on things and put this right. He's just too far into his career, and because he's slowed down, he's getting older. It's going to get worse for him. Trust me. And if Zepeda's knocking you clean out, Prograis is going to fucking sleep you for a week, and them sort of guys. Do you know what I mean? So, I don't.
Yeah.
Well,
speaking of Regis Prograis, Stu Little, he's a lot harder to hit than Sepeda was.
Exactly.
And he packs a wallop. So you're gonna be missing him and then catching those punches, man. That's not.
The thing is, if you haven't got a good defense, then Prograis is your worst nightmare because he comes from funny angles with his shots. He throws from funny angles. A lot of these fighters are not used to these angles. They don't see him coming, and he changes at the pace with his punches. He's very hard to read, Prograis, very hard to time, and very unpredictable. Very unorthodox is the word. And I think he will be a nightmare for Baranik. I think he'd probably sleep Baranik, man. Baranik is just defensively too naive defensively to. I mean, even Josh Taylor, a world-class boxer, fucking Prograis gave him all he could handle, and it was a very close fight in Scotland. What's Baranik going to do to this kid? To Prograis? Prograis is going to steamroll him.
That fight needs a rematch, to tell you the truth, man.
Jeez.
But I got a question, man.
Not Sepeda and Baranik, BDA, Bucha.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, I meant Regis Prograis and Josh Taylor. That fight deserves a rematch. That was a good fight.
Yeah.
But you know what, man? We're talking about Baranik as if, he's done, he's finished. Let's see how he looks in his next fight.
Gonzalo, you want to jump in before we move on to the Kumite? Sepeda, Baranik.
What are you guys talking about?
Sepeda, Baranik.
That was an entertaining fight. Yep. It was, their styles meshed in a weird way where, they were trying to take each other out. That's the reason. They're trying to take each other out when they were hurt. They were trying to finish the fight. I mean, freaking Sepeda was a sucker for that left hook. And like you mentioned on the comments, fucking Baranik couldn't see those shots coming either. And they got clipped. I mean, it could have gone either way, but I mean, the first one to fall for good was fucking Baranik. It was an entertaining fight. I hadn't seen so many knockdowns in I don't know how long. Maybe what was it? Pacquiao versus the fucking kickboxer guy. That guy fought like 6 times, but in recent memory, I can't even recall when's the last time I seen like 7 or 8 knockdowns.
And Berto kept knocking.
That was like 4. That was like 4 knockdowns. But anyways, yeah, it was a good fight. I don't know about a great fight, but it was a good fight.
Yeah, it was like being at the supermarket, man. People tripping all over the place. That was, I mean, everybody 8 knockdowns. It was insane. I mean, that's why even there was a point where I said, you know what, this fight ain't even that good because it was just too. There were just too many knockdowns. You know what I mean? Everybody was falling. Sometimes there wasn't even a punch and people would fall. So
yeah, I mean,
I don't really have it. I still think a good fight, a better fight than this was the Pacquiao Marcus 4. To me, that was more entertaining.
It was. But you had 2 world-class operators. You know, just totally different levels to what we saw with these 2 guys. So yeah, I mean, of course it was a better. And it was more surprising. I mean, no one ever seen Pacquiao slept like that before. It was just a shock. I mean, look, Baranik being slept, not really a big surprise because look, I know very similar fight the way they fly in with their fucking chins in the air because Pacquiao does that as well, where he flies in and that's why he got caught. But look, different levels.
And you know what else, man? When people say, because I've seen people asking, well, how come Josh Taylor couldn't take Baranik out? And I'm not making excuses for Taylor. It could have been that maybe Baranik wasn't the same Baranik that fought Taylor. I don't know, but it's also styles because
listen, mate, I agree.
Because when Baranik fought Taylor,
sorry, BDO, quickly, that Baranik that beat fought Taylor would have won that fight last night.
Yeah, maybe, man. Yeah, but I mean, I also think it's the way he was hurt early in the fight, Baranik against Sepeda. His legs were gone. I mean, I think he was fighting. He'll probably come out and say that he doesn't remember the rest of the fight after the second round when he was stunned. Because, I mean, it was, I think, Taylor hurt Baranik, dropped him late in the fight or in the middle of the fight, I believe. This one, he was hurt early on. And I don't think he ever fully recuperated.
Yeah, you're probably right, BDA.
So Sepeda hits hard because, look, Ramos hit him with the kitchen sink too. I think he hits harder than Sepeda. But, I mean, he was clearly, like, more hurt this fight. Obviously, he got knocked out.
The thing is, it didn't...
Go ahead, Stu.
Go ahead, D. Go ahead. Go on. I've said enough. Go ahead.
No, well, I was really getting ready to reiterate something you said anyway. And I've said it on another live here talking about another fighter. When that chin starts to get cracked, bro, it's like, it becomes more vulnerable. And fight after fight, you're not going to be as sturdy as you was in the previous fights. And Baranik's been getting smacked around a little bit. So, you know what I mean?
He has, bro. But this is the problem. Look, and all you got to do is slow down just a little bit in boxing. And that could be the difference between you like avoiding a shot and catching one clean on the button. And this is the problem. He was too reckless. He was flying in with his chin in the air, no thought of defence, and he was getting countered and timed with big shots. Sepeda it got to the stage where Sepeda knew what was coming and he was ready for it. And as soon as Baranik would load up with a big shot again, Sepeda would land one, and then Baranik's on the fucking canvas again. And look, I agree with BD. I think once he got hurt the first time, he just never really got his legs back, even though he was knocking Sepeda down at times. But I just think when you haven't got your legs, when the latter rounds start to come in, that's when they really, really starts to tell, and that's probably what was Baranik's problem.
Sepeda used to be Mayweather's sparring partner, and he busted on this. Well, he tried to come on the scene like 4 or 5 years ago, but then he got injured he got injured a total of 3 times. And one time when he got injured against Terry Flanagan, well, that guy was a decent fighter, but most of all, he was a strong fighter. And I thought that Sepeda might be a little bit physically vulnerable because he had like these reoccurring injuries that in this fight against a strong fighter, just like in Flanagan, he might possibly get hurt again. But I mean, he was obviously able to cope off. he was obviously able to cope with that, getting off the canvas so many times. And I mean, credit to him. I guess his strength is definitely improved, and he's a competitor now. He's solidified his place in the 140-pound division because there's a lot of monsters in this division.
Where is you guys, Bucho? You know if Precise is going to stop by?
I hope so. He usually drops by later on, like
I think he wants a piece of Frank Dukes in the Kumite.
Well, hopefully, if he wants to come and have a debate, we can do that. All right. So we talked about Sepeda and Baranik. Great fight. Some people called it fight of the year. We'll see. People, the phone lines are open and the StreamYard is open as well. I posted the link. The phone number is also on the screen. If you want to come and debate, you can do so. I named I titled the show "Excuses." Will there be excuses if Teofimo Lopez loses? Because obviously, there's some people that are already saying that, Lomachenko is getting old and that his skills are diminishing, his timing, whatever. So those could be regarded as excuses. But if Teofimo Lopez, will people start saying, "Oh, well, Teofimo wasn't ready. He was too young." Blah blah blah. What do you guys think?
It's a good topic because I'm always ready to debate Teofimo. But I'll tell you this, man. I'm not hearing no excuses. Now, you're not going to hear excuses from me. I tell you that because kid says he's ready. His dad says he's ready. Most of us don't believe he's ready. We know that he's not at the level of a fighter that Lomachenko is, but I believe, and his team believes, he has the attributes and the skill set to be able to get it done, not to, be a better fighter than Lomachenko, but he has enough skills with the power and attributes to get this job done. So no excuses. You can't make any excuses.
Yep, exactly. I don't think. Listen, whatever. Like for example, Teofimo Lopez, he is young, but at the same time, you can say that he's a little bit inexperienced when you compare him to Lomachenko. Lomachenko has the experience, getting a little bit old, especially for a lightweight or a featherweight. I think I think lightweight is even a little bit too much of a big weight for him. Like he should be at 130. But anyways, I think there shouldn't be any excuses. Each one has their own attributes, and we're gonna see who the best boxer is. There shouldn't be any excuses.
I definitely don't want to hear any excuses from Lomachenko fans, Lomachenko supporters, anything Lomachenko. No one can make any excuses because all I keep hearing is Teofimo ain't ready. He's never seen a Lomachenko. Loma's going to box around him like this, that, and the third. I'm hearing about the magic tricks, the quitting on the stool. Man, I don't want to hear shit about Lomachenko if he loses. No excuses. None.
Yeah, what do you guys think, Stu, Gonzalo?
Lomachenko's already proved that he's a great fighter. He has nothing to prove, even if he gets knocked out, man. But the chances of him getting knocked out would be slim. I wouldn't say none, but they're very slim. So at this point, I would have to back Lomachenko up. I would have to back him if I'm a fan of him. And stylistically, I think he would drown Teofimo. If Teofimo can't land, if his timing's off or he can't catch fucking Lomachenko early, he's going to get tired. He's going to start swinging in air. He's going to look very frustrated. And there's not going to be any excuses that the fighter wasn't like size-wise like Nakatani, that he can't fight against tall fighters. That was a shitty excuse. He's going to be fighting the shorter man. What's going to be the excuse now?
It's a one-sided fight in your opinion, then?
Hold on, I just had to have my wife shut the door for the cart. No, it's a danger. In the beginning rounds, Teofimo's going to get some rounds based on the fact that he might land a power punch here and there. And if he's able to rock or make Lomachenko retreat, they're going to give him that round. That's going to be the dichotomy of the fight. The power puncher against the the puncher that lands more punches than Lomachenko. So just for him having, like, when Cotto fought Canelo, the fact that Canelo was able to land the harder, stiffer shots, he was given rounds. But that's not going to be the course of the whole fight. Maybe the first 6 fights until like Lomachenko starts landing hard shots himself. And the latter half, it's going to even out, and Lomachenko most likely will knock him out to the body, in my opinion. But in the first half of the fight, the rounds will be close because Teofimo will be given a lot of the close rounds based on the power of his shots.
Yeah, he's got to land though, isn't he?
Yeah, he's got to hit him.
Of course, if you don't land, you don't get the punch.
Teofimo, do you know the biggest obstacle in there for Teofimo that night will be his mind, fighting it mentally, basically, because it's going to be a mental challenge in there for him, because that's what Lomachenko brings. He just brings chaos, and it's how a young fighter like Teofimo will deal with it. I mean, I just don't know if the experience will be there. I got a feeling he could fold mentally after a while, get frustrated, and then just sort of like give up. Not give up like Rigondeaux, but just give up thinking he could win. And then when a fighter does that, he just starts getting pieced up. So Teofimo's got to go in there early and land one clean on the button early on. I think if Teofimo lands on Lomachenko, he could hurt Lomachenko, man. Maybe stop him, but he's got to land. And that's where I am. I just think Lomachenko experience, I think just a bit too much for Teofimo at this time in his career.
You also got to think one thing, that Teofimo, the young fighter, the brash fighter, he feeds off the crowd. I mean, he dares to be great, but he gets a lot of his motivation from the fact that he knows that people are watching. And with no crowd, that might change, with the whole backflip and everything, the Heisman fucking move that he does and all that. So you got to also take that into account, I think.
I hear a lot of things that need to be taken into account. It's pure speculation. Like, he's going to gas out from missing punches. He's not going to have the same mental because of feeding off of the crowd. This, that, and the third.
No, it's not just that.
Oh, let him finish and you can reply.
Yeah. I'm just saying, I hear a whole lot of speculation. I hear a lot of speculation when it comes to Teofimo and what the lack of what he's going to do in there, what's going to happen to him. I just hear a lot of speculation. And of course, a lot of this, we have to speculate anyway. But, I don't hear anyone talking about the difficulties that Lomachenko's going to face. And it's like Lomachenko ain't going to face any difficulties with this kid Teofimo. But I don't agree with that because he's faced certain difficulties just by moving up to 135, which no one's mentioning.
Well, everything in boxing, if the fight hasn't happened, it's all speculation. I mean, they haven't fought. They haven't fought, and what I've noticed that most boxing fans, like 60 to 70% of the time, they get the predictions wrong any fucking ways. I mean, we don't know nothing. We think we know a lot, but in the end, it's all speculation. Look, it's not just the fact that he's gonna gas out. Is that maybe the kid has asthma, and Lomachenko has done it to 3-4 fighters in a row, and he's gonna go to the body. And along with there being no crowd, there's many factors that come into play. That this is why maybe this is what Lomachenko can do. But like you're saying, also there's things that Lomachenko hasn't faced himself that that can happen. The fact that this guy's really big and whatnot and all that. You're right about that.
Well, and I would tell you one more thing too, Gonzalo. Those percentages, buddy, I'm a little bit above that. And the last 4 seasons in the prediction league can tell you that, man. I don't know about that 60, 70% nonsense. I feel for the people who are down that low. I'm probably like the 85% or better range in these fights, right? No, I'm dead ass. I mean, I'm in a prediction league. We pick 15, 17 fights every week. And some of those fights he put in there are guys we've never heard of. I get in there, look at some film, and I get them right. So I don't know about that 60, 70% shit.
All right, guys, hold on. We have a phone call. Let's take the phone call. 443 on the air, 443.
Yes, sir. How you doing, gentlemen?
Welcome to the show. What's on your mind?
Yeah. How you doing? I've always asked the same question. I keep hearing Lomachenko is the Matrix. He's this. He's something new to boxing. He's good, but I don't see anything new or special about him. What is this new stuff or special stuff that I might be missing with my 2020 vision?
All right.
Is that Troy? Is that Troy?
Yeah,
Sounds
D,
like-
that's Troy.
I think the switch hitting from Lomachenko, the angles and the footwork is just something we don't see very often. I mean, if you're going to say that you've seen it quite a bit, then I dare you to name 5 people that have them sort of abilities, and that's in history. Do you know what I mean? Every fight has a different strength. Yeah, look, all them greats. I'm not saying Lomachenko is one of the greatest fighter in history. I'm not. I'm saying some of the things he brings to the ring, I've not seen in a box. I've watched hundreds and hundreds of fighters over the years, probably thousands, and I don't see that very often from a fighter. Every fighter has different things, but you name me one that has that sort of ability as Lomachenko, the footwork and the switch down. I mean, look, he dominated a fight with one arm against a very decent guy as well, a very good fighter. Do you know what I mean? He dominated with one arm. I mean, come on, man. This guy's a talent. Size is starting to catch up to him now. That's all it is.
I didn't say he wasn't talented, but everything you mentioned I've seen done before. Pernell Whitaker has won fights with one hand and all that. So I don't,
Yeah,
there you
go. So Pernell Whitaker's an all-time great. So if we're putting him up there with Pernell Whitaker, do you know what I mean? That says it all, doesn't it?
Do that.
That's a good point.
What did you say about Pernell? What did you say about Pernell?
I'm just saying you're saying Pernell Whitaker did that, but Pernell Whitaker was an all-time great. So Lomachenko, he can do the sort of things that Pernell Whitaker can do. So that's what I'm trying to say. This guy, you've got to appreciate his skills. Look, he can do certain things that Whitaker can't do, and obviously I'd say Whitaker's probably defensively a bit more.
Okay, so he can switch it. That's great. But what else?
It's not just switch it. Look, it's not just switch it, man. Don't try and narrow it down. Don't try and come on here and make me narrow it down like I'm just picking out one thing. I've just named about 4 or 5 for you.
No. I'm just asking you because you said his footwork. What about his footwork is what I'm trying to get you to speak on.
I mean, if you can't see the footwork, I can't help you there, brother. That's what I'm trying to say. I mean, I just can't. I can't make you see something.
Wilder fan.
But it's there. Just
you need to name like who has footwork like that besides Lomachenko. I would challenge you.
What about his footwork?
Whose footwork you see that is good like that?
Help me out so I can help you out. What about his footwork?
Help us out. Tell us the guy that you think has better footwork than him.
Yeah.
You're the one that's challenging his skill set. Go ahead.
I can't tell you anybody's footwork. I can't tell you anybody with special footwork until you tell me what's special about his footwork.
It's special footwork.
How about the way he switches sides? Huh?
It's the changing of the angles with the throwaway punches with the feints.
Hold on, Gonzalo. How about how he cuts off the ring by switching his by going from different angles and pressuring you at the same time? How about that? You don't think there's anything special about that?
Yeah, I mean the way he turns fighters, man.
One at a time.
He bamboozles Harold Graham and fighters like that have always.
Yeah, you're talking about 100 years ago. I'm talking about right now. Who do you know?
That's not
who do you know that did that?
Oh, hold on for a second. No, look, Troy. Lomachenko can pivot out, transition his weight to still throw these punches correctly. Just simply doing that is already a level of footwork that most of these fighters don't even have. Just that little simple thing there, being able to pivot out then transition your weight correctly and come back with punches that matter. Like just that simple technique there, you're not getting from most boxers. Just that.
Yeah. That's right. He changes the angles.
Okay, so hold on a second.
Let the caller go ahead.
D made it. Hold on a second, right? So D, what you're saying is the stuff that you just described, right? We talking about what fighters can do that today, or are we talking about what these are the things that make him special overall. Because I'm kind of lost
talk
as
about
to where the
the fighters
conversation's
today,
going.
Troy, because we can't talk about the fighters of yesteryear because he's not fighting them. So we have to talk about the fighters today. Which
okay, well, that's what I needed to know. That's what I needed to know. Okay, good. He's a very well-schooled fighter, and stuff like that today is special, but it's not special overall in boxing.
Listen, come on, get real now. Stop living in the past, right? Us oldies like to do that, live in the past, think everything was better back then. Lomachenko's footwork,
no.
right? Alone.
I'm not living
Hang
in
on
the
a minute,
past, brother. What I'm saying
Lomachenko, let me finish, please, Tom.
Is that he's
okay. We can't finish, can you? Just can't finish.
Go ahead, Stu. Go ahead. One at a time. Go ahead, Stu.
Lomachenko's footwork. Can you imagine taking Lomachenko into a time machine and putting him back into the 40s and 50s? Lomachenko would eat these guys alive.
I want to deal with it here and now.
Even the 60s. Lomachenko's footwork would bamboozle these fucking guys. They'd never seen anything like that in their lives. It would be torture for them guys. Trust me. So let's stop. Okay, anyway, just answer the question. Name me 5 people in the history of boxing that has better footwork than Lomachenko.
We're not doing that. D made perfect sense. No, let me finish because you got to speak, right? Brother D made perfect sense when he said that we're going to just stick to present day. So that makes perfect sense to me because if we go round and round and all of that, it's going to take forever. Let's just stick to the here and now. You brought up
fights from the previous past.
Let me finish, man. Let me finish because you're so ready to pull out your sword and have at it with me, but you're not hearing anything I'm saying to you. What I'm saying is that the here and now, right here in the present, 2020, a lot of boxers are not schooled like him. So what you're seeing, what you were seeing, a lot of other people are seeing. You're saying, "Wow, he's bringing something new to the sport. He's this or that." He's very damn well schooled. I'll give you somebody else who's very damn well schooled. Povetkin, because that what he knocked out White with, there's no heavyweight, no top heavyweight that could do that move. So these fighters are very well schooled for today. But overall, these things are not new in boxing. That's just my simple point. When people say, well, he's bringing something brand new to the sport, and he's the Matrix, and he's a black hole, and he's nothing new.
Well, tell me a fight from the past that Lomachenko could have copied that got his footwork from. Because you're saying, no, but Troy, Tom, you're saying, or Troy, whatever it is, you're saying that
Troy,
you've seen this plenty of times before. No, come on, just answer the question. You said you've seen this plenty of times before. Just name me one fighter then that's got that footwork.
I did, brother. I said, look, I named you 4, actually. I named you Purnell. I named you Mike McCullum. I named you
Purnell Whitaker didn't have that sort of footwork.
I named you a lot of other fighters, man. But we stick in the present day. I can't name you a lot of present day fighters because they're not that
well. I just want to get Mr. BDA.
I can't name you a lot of present day fighters.
Hold on. BDA speaking. Hold on.
All right, let's get Mr. BDA. Go ahead.
Yeah, I've been listening to the discussion. First of all, what Lomachenko, because we're getting hung up on the people that say that Lomachenko's special. First of all, we've said he's special, but I don't remember most of us here saying that he's doing something that's completely new. There's very, I think it'd be hard pressed to find anything completely new. Excuse me, Troy, I can't talk at the same time. You'd be hard pressed to find anybody that does anything that's new in boxing. But I tell you what, the most important point here is what Lomachenko does well, and that is he mixes a lot of factors that are difficult to pull off in a fight. It's easy to feint while you're shadow boxing. It's easy to do a whole bunch of things when you're shadow boxing. It's easy to do a lot of the things that Lomachenko does when you're fighting subpar opposition. But what Lomachenko has been managing to do is incredible. Feints, angles, the way he makes people quit, and almost, even if the guys go the distance against him, they get beat up and almost taken out. This guy is a pressure machine. That's what people tend to overlook. He's a pressure fighter. Now, if we want to go back to the past and mention guys that have done things similar to him, you're going to be hard-pressed to find many, because the thing is, the people back in those days, they were special too. It's not like every top 10 contender was doing what those guys were doing. You mentioned Mike McCollum. We want to go to great footwork like Sugar Ray Leonard. I mean, those guys are special.
And it's a lot, BDA, hang on a sec, 1 second. It's a lot harder to have good footwork going forward than it is on the back foot. Anyone can just go on the back foot and run. I mean, it's when you're trying to come forward and still do it, that's what makes it special.
Right. But you know, the beautiful thing about all this is that we're going to be doing an episode probably the day before the actual fight, so on a Friday, we're going to be doing the same thing we've been doing with other fights, which is we're going to be taking a look at clips, GIFs of both Lopez and Lomachenko, and we're going to be able to prove things. If you think Lomachenko is overrated, you're going to be able to do it via images. And if you think he's the best fighter ever, you can have the chance to explain why. So it's going to be a great, fantastic show, man.
All right. Let's get Troy back in. Troy, go ahead.
Okay. We'll just agree on this. Right? That he is extremely well schooled and good for this era, because nowadays fighters, it doesn't seem like they're taught the simple things like how to cut off the ring and how to do a whole pivot out, like what Brother D was saying. I don't see a lot of fighters who know how to manage their weight on different feet and pivot and go back left to right, or something simple like this. Mike McCollum was gifted at doing this. He would get close enough to you, and you would think you're landing your big punches, but he would take that half step to the side or back, so you would think you got him, but you wouldn't, and then he would step in and catch you to the body. Like what? Okay, I forgot the brother's name who hosts this show, but you did a beautiful video of Jackson versus Mike McCollum. I watched that thing 1,000 times, right? Help me out and agree with me. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Jackson.
Yeah. Did you make that video? Right? You're right, and you broke it down with everything that I'm saying that he did, and it was beautiful. You don't see a lot of stuff like that because there's not a lot of teachers left. There might be a lot of trainers and all that, but there's not a lot of teachers. He's blessed enough that he may have come across some good teachers, and he has a ton of video to watch, and he took advantage of that. So I'm agreeing with you, gentlemen, that the fact that he took the time to school himself and he was schooled right. He's good. He's special for today because you just don't see those things today. But overall, I see nothing new or special or fantastic about the man at all.
All right, guys. Troy, we have to move on. We have other callers. If you want to call back again later, you can do so. If not, thank you for calling. Take care.
Wow, Jesus, Butch, I was going to just say real quick, man, that he didn't mention my point about how not every fighter in the past was well schooled. You had a lot of bumps back then too. The only reason why we look at the past, we have the privilege of being able to pick out fighters from hundreds, 80 years. You can go back and pick great fighters. That's because we know who the great fighters are. Right now, fighters are still in development. People are still building up their careers, so it's hard to find. But if you go back if you go forward in the future 30 years, you're gonna be able to say, "Oh, look at all the great fighters there were: De La Hoya, Trinidad, Pacquiao, Mayweather." You know what I mean? It's like the point is that the reason why guys like Lomachenko are special is because they can actually do all those things. It's not easy to do all the things, pivoting on the inside and attacking or weaving and countering off the weave. I mean,
just making people. Some of these boxers quit. Just and Rigon
that's a key thing, Bucho. Like he made professional boxers quit. Like,
come on.
I was hearing D talk about the way he can throw punches correctly in angles is like that's part of it, bro. Dude, it's hard to box on the move. Okay, when you're on the move, but when I say box, I mean throw punches correctly, where they're gonna still hurt you or get your attention. And that's one of the things that he does. Yeah. And so okay, he's nothing special compared to whatever standard you may have from the past. All right, fine. But nobody cares when you're fighting and you're Lomachenko. You never care about what guys did yesterday because you're not fighting those guys. You're fighting today's competition.
But it's the changing of the angles and the way he sells you the feints. I agree with BDA because you don't know when the actual punch is coming. And he catches you with the actual punch.
That's the one of the many parts of his repertoire. Now, is he the greatest fighter ever? How about when he puts a period in his career? Then we could judge it. As of right now, he has one of the best skills I've ever seen. Like
against who? Against who? Against who? Against who? Against who? Okay, but anyway, hold on.
Yeah, I'll put him on. Look, when I say skills, these are the greatest fighters that I've seen. Yeah. These are the greatest skills I've seen. I'm talking about Mike Tyson. I'm talking about Roy Jones, and then I'm talking about him.
All right, guys, we gotta go through the phone calls, all right, to get this debate going.
Real quick. What I do agree with Troy is that when people say that he does things that are completely new, I mean, that's when people start overpraising Lomachenko. There is such a thing, and I do agree with Troy on that one.
That's a fact.
All right, 773. You're on the air. 773.
Stewie, was that you and Sean's YouTube channel yesterday who said Poles are the scum of the earth? Was that you, Stuart?
It was not me at all, so don't accuse me. I don't know, who is this anyway?
Were you in Johnny Boy's boxing channel who made that comment that said Poles?
No,
are
it
the
was
scum
not
of
me
the
who
earth?
made that
Yes
comment.
or
If
no?
I did make it, I'd say it. Well, you think I've been scared to say things about the polls on here? No, I'll tell you if I did it. I did not say it.
Kevin, let me just say
Shut
something.
your
Kevin,
mouth.
let me just say, Kevin, there's a
Jason
bunch.
Bourne?
Kevin, can you hold on? Kevin, there's a
Kevin.
bunch of fake accounts all over the place. I saw a faking Bucho account in some channel. There's a fake. So, it's probably a fake Stu account.
It was a fake account.
Most likely, yeah.
Kevin was about to get all
fake
indignant
account or no?
over what he thought Stu said, but meanwhile, this guy's over at Second Renaissance, fucking a certain religion and a certain Semitic race. I mean, come on, Kevin.
We got to squash this. We got to settle this because this ain't gonna slide. I need to know if that was Stu or if that was a fake account, because otherwise someone gave a fake person a wrench over in John Boy's channel.
Well, maybe they did.
Yeah,
Kevin's investigating
it was real
right now.
quiet.
Well, listen,
Real
continue
quiet.
your investigation. Continue your investigation, and we're
Was
gonna
he,
talk
Kevin,
boxing
was he
here.
fighting with Jason Bourne? Because like Jason Bourne will go at it with him. That's usually what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just cut out there. Let
Yeah,
me get
Stuart,
back to this,
Hey,
Kev.
Stuart,
And by the way,
Let me
even
get
if
back
he
to-
said it, like seriously,
Let me get back to what?
even if you said it, like even if somebody said like fucking Mexicans, whatever, like what am I gonna do? Cry about it?
Listen, hey, have I ever been scared to admit saying something? I'm almost bashing the polls on here. It wasn't me. I'm fucking telling you it weren't me. And if that's not good enough for you, tough. Well, there's nothing you're gonna do about it. Get on with your call or do one.
Come on, Kevin, you want to
you know
talk
what?
boxing?
I'll get on to my call because the English have no room to talk. They're a bunch of colonizers.
Oh,
listen,
here we go.
you
Here we go. No,
have-
no,
you
no,
have-
no, no. We're not
They're
going there.
every continent they went.
Let me
We're
finish.
not going there.
Let me finish, Kev.
Oh,
They're the
Jesus
Let me finish,
reasons
Christ.
why
Kev.
white people
Let me
look
finish,
bad,
Kev.
look down
Kevin
upon.
Perry.
So you
Let me
just watch
finish.
your
Let me
mouth,
finish,
'cause you're-
Kevin Perry.
You're an arrogant piece of shit, Stu. You're a loud,
Yeah, I'm
Hurt
arrogant.
his feelings.
Hey, do you know why I'm arrogant? Because life's
Walk a
good.
line. You like to say. Let's
I
be
don't
real.
have to
Let's be
hang
real.
on to the
Let's
nuts
be real,
of white
Stu.
people from Europe
let's
because
be
you
real, okay?
guys got no fighters.
All right, we're gonna move on.
Stu, let's be real for a second.
No. You
Kev
want to
from
talk?
Chicago.
We're gonna talk boxing, man.
Kev
I mean,
from
I
Chicago. Stop crying. Every time you ring in, you cry like a little bitch.
guys,
I mean, and you haven't. I know you haven't got a girlfriend because a girl wouldn't part with a whiny little fuck like you, man.
I want
Just
action.
Go
I
and
want
masturbate
drama.
to your Golovkin poster and leave the boxing to the real men.
Listen, people want action, drama. That's what we're trying to bring you guys. But we don't want telenovelas. All right, we want to stick to boxing. Stick to boxing. All right. Who's in here? Revolucion. Go ahead.
Revolution.
Revolution making my entrance. What's going on, gentlemen? How we doing? I just got through working out.
Oh, you got a little bit of muscles now.
Oh, finally.
Yeah, man.
Busy in
Hey,
an Antifa meeting.
hey, man. Y'all, I don't want to swerve the shit. Hey, I'm going to.
Revolution is Antifa, bro.
That's my character. Hey, check this out. I'm
I
not
can spot this
Antifa.
motherfucker.
I'm not Antifa. Hey, check this out, everybody. I'm not Antifa. But
Good. I'm happy.
but I'm going right now to pro wrestling school.
Oh shit.
I've been going for the past month and a half.
Don't they call that clown college in certain parts? Yeah.
You don't say that in front of me now. I got to defend the business.
Hey, Revolution, let me ask you something. You're working out. Are you going to be looking like Carrot Top in a couple of weeks? All fucking jacked up with mascara on
Wasn't
and
he
all.
on steroids? Carrot Top? Wasn't he on steroids? Like his boy Canelo?
I think he was.
I would like to have that physique, man. I'm trying to get to that level, but yeah, my character's going to be like an Antifa guy.
I gotta see you get beat up.
Yeah.
Can I just address these guys in the chat? Can I just address these guys in the chat?
right.
Let's keep it to boxing. Listen, we are keeping it boxing. Kev's rang in and accused me of doing something I didn't do, talking about Polish people when I didn't. So at the end of the day, blame Kev, don't blame us. I'm not going to sit here and just take abuse from someone to keep you fucking maggots happy. Not going to happen. I'm going to defend myself, especially when I'm an innocent man, and so is my son. As Jerry Conlon said, in the name of the Father, I'm an innocent man, and so is my son.
That's right. Now, Revolution, how tall are you? Just curious.
5'8", 5'9".
And how much do you weigh right now?
Right now, super middleweight, 168.
Oh, okay. Okay, so you're going... wait a minute. Are you actually going to pro wrestling school? And are you planning on doing something with this later on? Or?
Yeah, man, I want to do this.
He's gonna be a character.
I'm gonna
Revolution thinks he thinks he's fucking Shawn Michaels. Revolution, doesn't he?
I ain't no fucking pussy, man. I ain't Shawn Michaels. That's not my style. I do look like Sheamus. But I'm going to be doing sticking people with forks. That's what I want to do. I want to stick people with forks. And, hey, recognize my note, Carlos Colon, all that Puerto Rican shit, Bruiser Brody, Abdullah the Butcher. That's what I want to do. Sticking people with forks.
Hey, Bucho, Cliff is in the talking about. Nah, that's El Jefe. El Jefe, ain't nobody. We having a boxing debate. We're not talking about. That's
what you talking about?
Hey, bro,
call me the N-word. Oh, that's just a lie.
That's El Jefe. He's saying Stu called him the N-word. Like, bro, come on. We having a boxing debate.
Hey, put the video evidence up. Put the video evidence up.
Listen, don't even look. I don't know where you guys are even entertaining the guy.
Yeah.
But look, in case
when it comes to just timed him. Oh, all right, I'll just sit here and fucking take it.
I kicked him out, Stu. Don't worry. Anyways, go ahead.
Anyway, the point is this, man. When it comes to the Kumite, you named it Lopez versus Lomachenko. If I can just address something, because we're going to be talking about this as the fight nears, which is like about 2 weeks away. One thing I don't understand is the hate for Lomachenko. Because, I mean, we had, and I'm not saying Troy was a hater, but I'm talking about other people where instead of saying, hey, how good is Lomachenko, they focus on what other people say. Like, oh, people say he's the best ever. He's not the best ever. Okay, we're not saying he's the best ever. We're trying to address the fact that how good is he? The question, I should say. Now, coming into this fight, when people make their predictions, I don't hear a lot of breaking down the fight. I hear people, other YouTubers saying, it's Lomachenko's time, he's ready, he's younger. That's all fine and dandy.
Teofimo's
can you tell me how? What's that?
Teofimo's time.
Yeah, Teofimo's time. I'm wondering how exactly he's going to pull this off.
Well, he's big, and if he lands. But there's an if, right? Okay. That's what I don't like. There's an if, which is true. I mean, if he lands, then these guys are welterweight, in my opinion. And he has a lot of power. But the if is problematic.
Hold on here, ladies. Check it out.
Wait a minute.
Now, Teofimo is going to get inside and work Lomachenko's body. Okay? He's going to institute some feints, ladies. He's going to get him to drop his hands. He's going to set up his shot. I don't know why, like, it's okay. We know that Lomachenko has a high IQ. I don't really disrespect Lomachenko for the things he can do, the way he can move, the way he thinks in the ring. But when I hear about Teofimo, it's just like Lomachenko's fighting some fucking dummy with a Philly shell in the right hand. This is what I'm hearing about Teofimo. Oh, Teofimo just going to go in there and swing and miss and gas out, and then Loma's going to take
right
again.
Yeah.
This is what I'm hearing about Teofimo. So I don't think it's as much about Lomachenko. I think it's more about Teofimo. I was talking to L-Dog the other day, and I said, L-Dog, do you realize he can switch hit? I've never seen him switch hit. Then I say, you haven't been watching his fights.
Yeah, but you're talking L-Dog. I mean, you're talking L-Dog.
He switched. He caught Magdalena and knocked him down when he switched. During the switch.
Yeah, if you want to talk about Hergovich or, the rainfall in Croatia.
I mean, you could write on the back of it. Yeah, you could write what L-Dog knows on the back of a stamp. I mean, come on, man.
Well, my thing is this, man. And I'm not saying that you're saying this, but I'm saying, I'm just saying in general, I hear other people saying this. One of the reasons why certain people are picking Lopez is they say that Lomachenko hasn't looked good in his last two fights. Now, Lomachenko he didn't look all that as dominant as he usually does against Pedraza and Campbell, even though he almost stopped them late in the fight. Lopez looked awful against Nakatami. Now, some people are going to say, well, Nakatami was taller. Well, guess what? Campbell and Pedraza were taller than Lomachenko, and he still looked 10 times better than Lopez did against Nakatami. So I don't get this whole thing about how Lomachenko is slowing down. He's deteriorating. I don't see it, man.
Here's my 2 cents.
No, he's not. He's probably at the tail end of his prime, but he's still strong. He's still young. He's got some wear and tear, but he doesn't have like a lot of like where he's gotten beaten up or anything. Look, I see a lot of comparisons between Teofimo and maybe like a prime Roy Jones, where Roy Jones started getting older. His physical attributes started deteriorating. He didn't have those cat-like reflexes, and his boxing skills were really like kind of poor to where people thought that he was actually like really, really good. No, it was like the athleticism that prevailed, those reflexes. Now, Teofimo's a young guy, which has the same kind of attributes. He's fast. He got them cat-like reflexes, and that will benefit him. His ability to be fast and land like a tiger, so and pounce on his prey. So I think, he's got a chance, but the fact of the matter remains to be seen if he will land.
This is a good point. Let me get my shit in. This is what I feel about. This is what I feel about. What do you call the ring IQ? Because D brought up Lomachenko's ring IQ, and I think that's going to be the deal breaker here. Because how I see it, Lomachenko's training methods. The shit with the numbers on the wall, the fucking Jenga block, all this shit. Oh, no, I'm serious. All this shit he's doing that looks goofy, it pays off. And you see it like applying the ring. That Krola knockout. I love that knockout. Everybody kind of downplay it, whatever, because Krola was shot, not a good competition. But you saw the knockout. He fucking hit that guy in the side of the head with such precision. He just like, he's like, there it is. And he took it. And when I saw him deliver that punch, it reminded me of him picking the numbers on the wall, like just looking and scanning and finding the spot and going for it. So what I see is his training shit is so out of control. What is Teofimo doing in a gym that's even close to that? I mean, we're looking at two completely different levels of training.
Absolutely different styles. But guys, okay, we have tons of people on StreamYard and on Discord, so I don't know how we're gonna do this. I went a little bit crazy. I
got my shit.
Yeah. Okay. That's good. So let's start with a debate.
Okay. Real quick. Shout out to G Boogie for his contribution. He said, "Shout out to Revolucion, the new Rey Mysterio. Viva la raza! Viva la raza!"
It's Conan. Remember, Viva la raza. And then and then we have.
Can you guys hear me?
Arriba la raza!
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, hold on.
White is for life, but NWO Wolfpack is forever.
All right. Hold on. Steven, I want to thank Steven Schneider as well. Thank you for your contribution. I didn't give him a shout out. All right, we have also on StreamYard we have Troy who's back, Virtuoso, Gerson Medina, and Brian Harkin. So how do we do this? Fuck. All right, Gerson, quickly, just give us your thoughts. You wanted to say something.
30 seconds.
One thing.
Yeah, 30 seconds.
People say, "Oh, Loma hasn't looked good." Well, in my opinion, I actually think Loma won way more rounds and looked way more dominant than Linares did against Campbell. But that's just me.
All right.
That's a good point. Now, Bucho, let's get some shit started between people.
Let's get some shit started here.
Yeah. We need this Kumite. We need people going, I guess. Who wants to debate who or...
well, Troy's back. Troy brought some good points. Maybe we should... somebody wants to do...
Here.
What's that,
Troy and Stewart. Let's get it on.
He's pro Teofimo Lopez. I know who he is. So.
All right. Let's have Troy and Stu. Stu, are you there? No.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I'm here.
We'll give you.
What? Well, you think I'm gonna run from Troy? This is easy work, mate.
How many? Guys.
Easy work. Hey, this is a bit like Devin Haney fighting Gamboa, isn't it?
How many minutes? Guys. How many minutes should we add to this debate?
We're debating anyway. So debate. What are we debating? This is the thing.
Well, that's the thing. Okay, let's come up with a subject that we can talk about organically.
Yeah, because I'm not just going to start just randomly talking boxing because I just.
Let's ask Troy.
I'll get a subject started in regards to because does it have to be Lopez, Lomachenko, Bucho, or it can be something else?
It can be anything.
All right. Well, how about the Wilder thing? Or no, not Wilder. Fuck that. It's overplayed. What else? We've been getting some fights, but the 140-pounder, man. Josh Taylor. Is he really the best 140-pounder? Because, I mean, look, he did beat Prograis, but it was an extremely close fight. Could have gone either way. And now, Postol's been beaten by Ramirez. We got Baranik, which was one of Taylor's biggest wins. Now it's sort of taking a little. What?
I said I got a debate. I don't think any fight's gonna top that one for like the next 3 years.
That's not a controversial point, but I agree with what you're saying.
I gotta watch that one.
It
wasn't the greatest fight ever either.
What is the topic?
Well, not
then?
that.
What am I debating? What am I debating?
Mr. BDA, let me handle this. Mr. BDA, let me handle this because Josh Taylor is nothing that's going to set the world on fire here. I want to continue with this Lomachenko thing. Troy, are you there?
Yes, sir, I am. I'm just on mute. Yeah.
All right. Welcome back. Do you want to continue this discussion with Stu? The Lomachenko thing, that he's not that special in your opinion?
No. I think we made our point. I mean, let's talk about. There's a bunch of current fights coming up, like White. The rematch with White, and there's a fight with Derek Chisora and Usyk coming up. Then
okay. Okay. Troy. I got one. Or whoever wants to jump in. Does Usyk have a good chance of becoming a heavyweight champion?
If his can hold up, yes.
Okay.
Well, so hang on a second. So Troy, does Troy not rate you?
No, Stu, forget about that because let's first find a topic and then let's see who agrees and who disagrees, and then we can match.
Well, everyone agrees, so.
I think Usyk gets iced.
All right.
I think Usyk's going to have more trouble. I think it's going to be easier. It's going to be harder than a lot of people think. And Chisora is definitely going to test him. And I don't think anybody can really make a decent prediction until we see this fight. Especially with COVID, he was supposed to have his debut against Takam, and that was going to be a great test. That all got stymied. He ended up fighting Witherspoon. Then COVID hit and installed a lot of shit. So his heavyweight debut's been stymied a little. And I think that's going to really affect him. And this is going to be a big test. It could be make or break with Chisora. If he goes in there and it's a war and he gets a split decision or majority decision or something, like, what's he going to do on the next guy up? You know what I mean?
But the thing about that is that I personally believe Chisora gives a lot of the top guys hard work. So I feel like if it is a hard fight, I think people should give Usyk a bit of slack. Simply because
it depends on how Usyk. It depends on how Usyk does too. If you see Usyk getting pushed around a lot and mauled and wrestled,
hurt,
and he looks small. And he looks small against Chisora. Than somebody like Joshua, who's like taller and muscular, the size. That's why I really want to see how he stacks up size-wise. Because heavyweight is a whole different division.
I got a weird prediction.
Well, Usyk is taller than Chisora.
Honestly, I think if Usyk does well against Chisora, I wouldn't be surprised if Joshua Usyk ends up being kind of like a Lewis Holyfield kind of fight. Where it's like back and forth despite the size.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. But the one thing is we don't know. I want to know how Usyk's chin holds up when he gets hit by a heavyweight. That's what I want to know. So, we really can't judge it until we actually see him actually in the ring with an actual heavyweight. We all forget, too, that Chisora was winning the second fight with Dillian White until Dillian White knocked him out. So, Chisora's not someone you just walk over.
Yeah. Chisora's
always up for a fight. So
and you can bring up the Takam fight too, because Takam was outclassing him for the 5 or 6 rounds, and boom, he caught him, and that was that. So Chisora's that kind of guy who come from behind and win a fight.
Yeah, and Takam, I got a better topic. I think Dillian White gets trashed in this next fight with Povetkin. Who think he wins?
I got White.
I do. Yeah, I got Povetkin. I got Povetkin.
I have no idea, to be honest.
Yeah.
I got Dillian White.
I've been quiet
as well. I see enough. I see enough in that. I see enough in that fight.
Yeah.
ain't on this damn game, man.
What's going on here?
I don't know. There's too many people. I'm gonna have to kick people out.
Too many people.
All right, hold on, guys. I'm gonna have to kick some people out because there's too many, man. Or what do we do? I don't. Okay.
I was supposed to have a debate too. What's up?
Yeah, I know. We need a debate here. All right, so
just tell people, listen, just people mute if you're not talking. That's it.
You don't jump in like crazy.
Okay, so why don't you give everyone like 30 seconds to speak and then you let the next man speak? How about
Hey,
that?
I just wanted to. I didn't get
we
to
don't
chime
take
in
turns on it. This is a boxing debate arena. We don't just take turns. This is not.
All right, but
what are we going
I
to do?
wanted
Get
to chime
become
in
the
on
boxing
the-
voice where we have a timer, 30 seconds you get. And then
I
beat
fucked
you
this
off.
up. There's
Hey, I
like
wanted
20
to-
people
no,
here.
we're not like
Thoughts in. I want Jesus. I just want real quick because I heard you guys talking about the Teofimo and Loma fight, and this is my look at it. Look, I understand people like D. Jefferson. I understand other people that got Teofimo. Fine, but your pick is based on a gut feeling. It has nothing to do with what you, in terms of comparisons of what they both accomplished. Okay, that's just a gut feeling. My gut feeling is I go with what I think is more likely is going to happen, and that's Teofimo is going to get trashed. That's the way I look at it now. There's going to be opportunities for Teofimo because I really think Lomachenko's coming in there to fuck his world up. And when you do that, there's a good chance you can make a mistake in that. If he comes in there the way I think what he's going to do, there will be some opportunities for Teofimo to counter him with a big shot, but I don't think it's going to happen. He might hit him, but he's going to find out that Loma's still there. And I think that
just talk. Was that precise? I mean, recognized?
Yep.
No.
Yeah,
I got a different argument for
I
that.
said that I think that your pick is based on a gut feeling.
Yeah,
it has nothing to do with.
Lomachenko.
Well, let me
I
respond to
got
that.
Lomachenko winning, but I
Here's
got a
the
different
debate.
argument.
But I didn't get to wait. I didn't get to finish though. I didn't get to
Go
finish.
ahead, finish. Go ahead.
Okay, so no, just what I'm listen. This is what I'm saying. I think that a lot of people have picked other guys in the past to beat him, and they failed. And I think that that's the recipe. They're gonna keep picking a guy that they feel that might have a chance to beat him until they get it right. And maybe, just maybe, Teofimo might be that guy. But it has to happen early. The longer the fight goes, I see Teofimo quitting or his father throwing in the towel.
All right, hold on. Before everybody jumps in, hold on, please. We have a phone call which I want to take, and I just want to make a comment before we continue. Okay, we got another donation. Holy shit! Hold on. I'll read the donations in a few moments. Okay, I'll read now. Chris K, thank you for your contribution. He says Baranik got a career's worth CTE in one night. It was pretty bad. Johnny Boy's fight plays. Thank you, Johnny Boy. He says good combo from the boys. Salute. Stu recognized Bucho, Brian Gonzalo, BDA, the Freckled Man, and the rest of us. God bless all. God bless you too, man. And I just want to say something that some of these channels were saying that Richard Comey was going to beat Teofimo Lopez, and all of a sudden these same channels are saying that Teofimo Lopez is going to beat Lomachenko. So I don't know where they rate Lomachenko, but it's not high. All right, let's continue. Take a phone call. 415. You're on the air. 415.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. What's on your mind?
Lomachenko will knock him out cold. Teofimo.
Whoa.
And then Lomachenko will win.
By stoppage.
And then, yeah, KO, round 1. KO.
All right, then get out of here, man.
Oh, come on, man. Come on. He's got to spark them out.
What kind of drugs you on, buddy?
But wait, let him talk. Go ahead.
Povetkin will, same outcome. Povetkin will KO him cold. Dylan White, I don't like him.
Yeah, but the thing is, a caller. Are we going to pick our picks on emotion, or do we think it's going to win the fight? Look, Dillian White. If you write Dillian White off in that next fight, then that's on you, man. Because this guy did enough in the first fight to show me a few adjustments here and there. He could get the job done. Povetkin, right? Honestly, Povetkin is an old man in there. His experience and his world-class skills got him through that. But his tank, he was ready to go. He was ready to be pulled out. Dillian White was probably a round or two from winning that fight. got sloppy, got caught with a wild class shot. But that happens. But to say that Dillian Whyte didn't do enough in that fight to convince you he could win the rematch. I mean, that's why you have rematches, because the first one was good enough to have a rematch. So this is where I am. Dillian Whyte is for me, I'm picking him to win it. I just don't think you don't get bit by the same dog twice, surely. And I think a few adjustments here and there will do the job.
Yeah, wait, how many minutes are you on this call?
What's that?
How many minutes do I have in this call?
Yeah, 30 seconds.
30 seconds, okay.
Make him count, man.
Leo Santa Cruz will beat Gervonta Davis.
Round 1?
Oh,
round 1?
No. Round 10.
Round 1 bucks.
I want to debate that.
All right.
Yeah.
Debate 2 minutes. Go ahead.
Listen here, man. Leo Santa Cruz is going to get beaten like a drum. Tank's been dedicated. He's been in the gym. The problems that Tank had in the past really persist a lot of his discipline. It was a very, very he had a high lack of discipline. He was getting fat in between fights, clubbing, partying, and so forth. Tank has a very decent amateur background, and the kid has skills. When you discipline a fighter like that and get him around the names that he's been around in the gym, he's going to beat Leo Santa Cruz like a fucking drum. No question.
But you say that though, D. You say that, D. But I'm not been convinced by what Tank's done recently. When has Leo Santa Cruz ever been beat up badly?
Never.
He's moving up.
Yeah,
don't matter if he's moving up. He's a big guy, Leo Santa Cruz. He can have a dogfight, and he can also box on the back foot. I think stylistically, he could be horribly wrong for Tank. I mean, just Tank getting inside is going to be a problem with them. That reach of Leo Santa Cruz. Look, anyone that thinks Tank Davis is going to run through Leo Santa Cruz when he hasn't shown he can run through these fucking chumps he's been fighting. I mean, I don't know what planet you're on, D. I mean, I like you, sir. You're a good old boy, man, but I think you're really underestimating Santa Cruz in this one.
Wait, hold on. Before D replies, I want the caller to say one last comment. I want the caller to say one. Caller, go ahead. One last comment.
From me?
Yes, sir.
I just want to say thank you for allowing me to speak on this call. I watch your podcast.
Any crazy predictions?
Crazy predictions. That's it.
Manny Pacquiao will KO McGregor in round 1.
Yeah, wow.
That was thank really you for that. Thanks for calling, man.
Is this Manny Pacquiao's son? Or?
All right, D, go ahead.
Is that Manny Pacquiao Jr.?
I don't know who he was,
Let me step in here with the Santa Cruz Tank.
Hold on. We ain't gonna keep doing this.
Come on, man. Every time I try to talk, somebody tell me, hold on.
Recognize said something, D. I got drowned out. Stuart Little just said something, D. I got drowned. Fuck that. Ain't nobody gonna keep saying something to D, and I ain't gonna respond back. This is supposed to be the Kumite, goddammit. Now,
it's King Bucha's fault, man.
D got a new attitude today.
Yeah, I know.
Let's go.
But I like it, man. I like a man that fights his corner. Go ahead,
fight. We don't got no damn fight. That's what it is.
Go ahead, D, my brother. Go ahead.
All right, look.
Give it to me, man. Tell me what I said wrong.
I know. I'm not going to say you said anything wrong, but you said a few things that I don't agree with. Now, we have seen Leo Santa Cruz in dogfights. I get it. We cannot just ignore weight classes. Number one, Tank is suitable right now to fight at 135. All of this Leo Santa Cruz using this goddamn face as a punching bag has happened at 126. He ain't did it at 130, and he ain't faced no 135 pounder. It's going to be punching him in that.
Yeah, but Tank's not a big 135 pounder. It's look, Leo Santa Cruz is going to be the bigger guy in there. Leo Santa Cruz is a big rangier, taller, rangier. I'm not saying he's going to weigh more because Tank's a stocky little guy.
He's the taller guy, not the bigger guy.
Yeah, well, look, I've got a feeling if Santa Cruz comes with a game plan like he did against Frampton in the second one, I think he can pull this off. Tank's he doesn't take boxing serious. He doesn't, mate. He just blows up in between camps. You know, he's always on the fucking razzle when he's getting drunk with his friends. I mean, look, Santa Cruz, something you like about him, one of the most boring Mexicans ever to grace the planet, but he's a tough guy and he's a world-class operator. Look, don't underestimate him.
And that's the mistake. That's the mistake that a lot of people that don't believe that Leo Santa Cruz going to get beaten like a drum. That's the mistake that they're making, because I said this before. We keep talking about what Tank used to do. We can't ask a fighter to change, say this fighter needs to do this fighter needs to do that if he's going to be great. Well, pay attention to Tank in the last 2 or 3 months, ever since Devin Haney's been leaning on Floyd Mayweather's boss. It's pure jealousy. But since that happened, since they've been in Vegas riding on bikes and on the plane, Tank Davis has been super dedicated. Hold on. Let me get this off. Tank Davis has been super dedicated. I've been following him on Instagram. He's been in the gym. He's been going with different trainers, understand, picking up tools. The dude is chiseled right now. When is the last time we seen Tank chiseled this far away from a fight? Never seen this. So we can sit here and lean on his old habits, but pay attention to what he's been doing these past 3 months. He's going to beat the hell out of Santa Cruz. He's going to beat him.
Is he doing what he should have been doing all along? Is he doing what he should have been doing all along? Is he doing what other boxers have been doing?
That's what he's doing.
Hey, Bucho, can I get into something at some point? Can you?
No, Jimmy. Yeah, go ahead, Jimmy. Go ahead.
Point?
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't want to stop. If you guys aren't done, I'm just saying, throw me in the rotation. If
Jimmy,
you guys aren't
go
done.
ahead.
What's up? Okay. All right. Let's go over a couple of things right now. First off, I think Tank's going to take that fight because first off, Leo's going out the door. There's no doubt about that. So he's got the weight of PBC behind him and the promotion behind him. I can say this, as of yesterday or 2 days ago, Rick Glacier, who was just hired as the international representative for Frank Warren Promotions, said, and I've never caught him saying anything wrong yet. I'm telling you, this guy's always on, been in the game for 30 years. He said, Tank's people are freaking out because although he's lean, he's still way above the weight he needs to, because they're not fighting at 135, they're fighting at 130. And Tank had struggled his ass off, had to come back to the scales to make 135 his last fight. And his own people said that's the reason why he didn't have the energy to put out the one-legged shell of a has-been. So if take all that into consideration, yes, he might be lean, but he's still like 140 something. He's got to fight 130. So there's already talk that he's going to give up money because he's never going to make 130. That would be to his benefit. If I was him, I would, because he doesn't want to look bad again. Now, another thing, as of today, a second jewelry company has filed a lawsuit against him for $500,000. So now that's going to be So January 20th, TMZ reported, that he floated a $500,000 check. This one, he actually there was nothing in the account. So this one can turn into a felony real quick on this kid. So he's, although might be focused, but he's still doing a lot of knucklehead shit, treating jewelry stores like it's Rent-A-Center. He's going to fucking not end well. So I don't know how focused he is, too.
But all right. The thing is, Jimmy, right? You talk about, hang on a minute, Dave, just 1 second. Well, because what Jimmy made a good point about struggling at the weight, right? That's when, in the latter rounds, Santa Cruz will come into his own. Santa Cruz can go for 12 rounds all day long, and he's busy while he's doing it. Tank is going to be in there with a guy that's constantly putting him under pressure. I don't know, man.
All right, guys, can we get other people to speak here? Because I think Troy wanted to say something for a long time. Troy, are you there?
Well, hallelujah. Yeah, I'm still here. Just being the patient man that I am.
Patience is a virtue.
We focusing on Santa Cruz and Tank. Okay. I think Tank, somebody said they're fighting at 130. Tank can't make 130. But anyway, Tank is going to. I see Tank stopping him, actually, because Lewis has nothing. I'm sorry. Santa Cruz has nothing to stop Tank with. He's a slapper. He has nothing. And the reason why this fight is even happening is because Santa Cruz is a Mexican and he has a Mexican following, and Floyd is trying to build himself with Tank all over again. This fight, nobody wanted to see this fight, and then really, it's really a nothing fight. He's just trying to get the audience, the Mexican audience, like Floyd did. So I guess he's going to be fed a bunch of Mexican fighters, and we're never going to see the fights with him that we want to see. and that's what's going to happen.
You know, I think.
And no, I don't, but I'm not finished. But and also,
Oh shit!
I think that Santa Cruz punked himself by not fighting Russell when Russell put his hands on his father, in a sense, trying to get him to fight him. Because even his father was like, "You gonna fight him?" Now his
Good
father
point.
passed away, and
Good point. I would have handled that
stuff, and I'm
business
sorry
be
to hear
either
that.
inside or
But
outside
he
the ring.
really should have fought
One way it's
Russell. He
gonna
really
happen.
should have fought Russell after that. All right. Oh, and Brown is going to keep cutting me off. Digo keep cutting me off because I ticked him off about Floyd Mayweather. But okay.
Let's talk about
No,
Floyd
sorry for
later.
interrupting. That was the first thing. That was by accident. I thought you stopped for a moment. I had a couple things to say. First of all, I actually think I wouldn't be surprised if Santa Cruz takes a dive. That's one thing that I wanted to get out of the way.
He takes a dive. Like got paid
Honestly,
extra.
I wouldn't be surprised. They're trying to promote Tank like if he's the next mini Mike Tyson when he's not really that, and he didn't look in his last fight. So I'm just saying, don't be surprised if there's some fishy quote unquote stoppages in October 24th or 31st, whenever the heck it's gonna be. Another thing was for the Loma Teofimo fight. I know we were already off that, but for me, I think that fight's gonna consist of timing. If Loma catches his rhythm early, you already know what's gonna happen. Loma's gonna be Loma. But if Teofimo times him early on, with a good lead hook or a monster right hand, you already know what's gonna happen. So yeah.
Well, I don't know what's going to happen, but it's dangerous to get caught by those.
That's
So
what
I
I'm
would
saying.
say that. Yeah. The Leo Santa Cruz fight and Tank. I don't know about you guys, but I like that fight.
Yeah.
And I actually think it's pretty 50-50. I'm going to give the slight edge to Tank.
What do you
I
like
think you
about
guys
it?
are underestimating this fight. Like, here, if you're a Tank fan, you're missing out an opportunity on saying, "Yo, listen, he fought a really good fighter." Leo Santa Cruz, excuse me, is a good fighter. He throws a lot of punches. Yeah, he's not spectacular, but he wins. He wins fights. So I think you guys are underestimating that fight and taking away credit from Tank or Leo. If they were to pull it off.
Leo Santa Cruz is a pimp slapper. He slapped
Recognize.
the entire fight.
Recognize. Can you hear
You
me?
slap me, you get pin slapped harder.
Recognize. Can you hear me?
No.
Yeah.
No.
No.
No, go ahead, Gonzalo. Quickly. Hey, guys, we're a lot of people.
get knocked out.
Let's keep it quick. Go ahead, Gonzalo.
Yeah. The thing is, depending on who's physically stronger that night, we know that Tank is the harder puncher. Now, for a guy that throws a lot of punches, that could be seen as a negative because he's going to go in. If he goes in against a stronger guy, that's going to give Tank more of an opportunity to catch him with the counter. You would think that's a positive, like
still
an
a good
Antonio
fight, though.
Margarito,
It's still
the
a good
pressure of the
fight,
fighter. Yeah, it is a good fight because
it might turn out
Santa
to be a
Cruz
blowout.
has never been knocked down. Has never been knocked out. I mean,
Gonzalo, it might turn out to be a blowout, but it's still a good fight.
Yeah, no, it's a
By the way,
competitive fight.
Can I just say something real quick? In regards to the Kumite, I think the one-on-one thing is over because we got 8 people on the Discord and about 3 or 4 on the stream here. So
Yeah, we got 4.
he's saying kick him out.
Yeah, all right. Hold on. I'm gonna have to remove some people.
Hold up. Wait.
Every time
Everybody chill. Hang on. D, you're getting
Right.
a little bit too much bravado today, man. I'm stepping up and I'm going to debate you. Somebody pick a topic. We're going one-on-one. You want to do blood sports? Let's go.
I'll pick a topic here. All-time great. That's the topic.
My headphone unplugged. What was it?
WrestleMania. WrestleMania will give you a chance.
I've never seen anything quite like.
All right.
Leo Tank Davis. Who you taking?
Revolution's like stopped the
I'm saying
steroids.
that Tank Davis is gonna beat Leo Santa Cruz like a ceremonial drum.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah. By the way, like, there's no way Santa Cruz wins a decision. There's no way Santa Cruz wins a decision, though. There's no way he wins a decision because, like Jimmy said, the PBC is favoring Tank Davis. So that's not the window.
Not sure about that one. But the thing is, if he makes it to the 12th round, he throws them more punches.
Yeah,
so
but he's not gonna get the decision. He ain't getting the decision.
Here's my question. I want to win, lose, or draw. That Tank is going to look shitty.
All right,
loser.
fuck this. That's it.
All right, but he said that he's been seeing Tank Davis looking good on Instagram. Let me tell you, a couple of weeks ago we had a situation with a person in my circle of associates. He was posting on Instagram him working out, running, doing sprints and all that. They was like, God damn, the guy's looking good. We hired a private detective to follow him around because we all got curious about where he was good. Guy was going to Burger King, A&W. He was, carving up all over the place. And once we saw him in person, he was getting fatter by the day. So Instagram can be deceptive. That being said, all kidding aside, if Tank Davis goes in there in shape, it wouldn't surprise me if he walks through Santa Cruz. Because look, Santa Cruz's game, if he can't hurt Santa Cruz, Davis, is volume punching, right? But even at these higher weights, he hasn't looked all that impressive when it comes to the volume department or overwhelming people with the volume. So my question is, can Santa Cruz use his length to outbox Gervonta Davis? And is there even that much of a discrepancy when it comes to height and length?
No.
There's not. Can I say something very quickly?
Go ahead.
All right. Yeah. Well, yeah. Leo can box. Leo can box the back foot. He can come forward. I don't think he hurts Tank. I don't think he discourages Tank from moving forward. I don't think he discourages Tank from landing, because I think Tank, as Leo has moved up, his punch output has gone down as he's moved up in weights. So, and that is exactly right. But he will have to throw 70, 80, 90 punches around to get a victory, and he has to stay on his feet. That's the only way he can win, because I don't see him knocking Tank out. I honestly don't. It has to be a clear victory for him to get.
I'm sorry.
Jimmy, go ahead.
And I was just going to say, I'll make it real quick. If I don't see Leo purposely place his feet in the first 2 rounds to at least tag him, not to knock him out, but because I don't give a fuck how much of a feather-fisted dude anybody is, regardless, you can still get somebody's respect if you catch him right and you time him right. If he doesn't hurt Tank at all, doesn't discourage him at all with anything in the first 2-3 rounds, it's on. Tank's going to just fucking hunt him down. That's my theory.
Right.
Okay. So, can I get back to the ceremonial drum? And here's the thing, guys. Now, we keep talking about Leo Santa Cruz being tough to take down, punch rate. Let's get something straight. In the past goddamn 8 years, way down to 122. Losing his face as a goddamn punching bag. This dude has not fought anyone, and I mean anyone, with even a 60% knockout ratio. What has Tank consistently done to all of these little guys that he moved up from that weight? He punished them, and I mean punished them bad. We're talking about a 95% knockout ratio, and it does count for those little guys that Leo Santa Cruz was fighting, because that's what Tank was doing. He absolutely demolished them. Now you're talking about a guy who says, hey, hit me in the face. Hey, hit me in the face. And all of these people who couldn't stop him, none of them had even a 60% knockout ratio. Mm-hmm. Tank is going to beat the holy hell out of him. Beat him down.
He's a little Mike Tyson. Leo Santa Cruz got to beat Buster Douglas on this night. Stay on the tip of his toes and try to outbox him. He's going to try to maybe make a masterclass performance. That's the only way he can win.
All right, guys.
You got to take into consideration too. Tank's only fought one top 10 opponent ever, and that was over almost 4 years ago. He has fought consistently guys ranked 30, 35th, 40th ranked guys.
Bunch of Mexican
bums. Bums.
That's correct.
All right, hold on. I was gonna play the Mexican sound.
Perfect. Tank's resume is like a Freddie Mercury party, isn't it?
And the amount of rounds. Think about the amount of rounds he's gotten in actually over the years. When people were talking about, Tank and Lomachenko have to go, I figured it out. How many rounds over 3 years he fought? 7 rounds over 3 years or something, because he's just got all these knockouts. He's a young guy. He's not putting time in the ring, and he's not putting time in with anybody decent.
Yeah, I mean,
all right, guys.
Look,
he's not learning on the job.
Hold on.
Davis, right? Oh,
okay.
sake.
Well, go ahead. Last comment on this topic.
No,
Last
go
comment
ahead,
on this.
man. Go ahead. Every
No, I
time I
wanted to-
speak, you said, hold on. Just go to the caller, man.
All right. No. There's no colors. I want to say. I
No,
want to change
every
top-
time Stu's trying to speak, you play the gong on him.
Go,
All right.
Stu, go.
Go, Stu.
Move on to this.
No, Stu, seriously, dude. Drop your point, brother.
Jimmy, hold on. I wanted to talk about something that Stu talked about in a video that he made for BDA Boxing. And he talked about Mark Breland being fired by Deontay Wilder. I don't think it's a good move. Stu doesn't think that's a good move. I want to know what you guys think about that. And what does that mean for... Go ahead.
Are you idiot? That's what I think.
Man
Why did
lacking
he do it,
confidence, a man searching to change things, isn't confident within. When he's just reaching out and trying to make excuses. Listen, what is he mad at him for prolonging his career? Let's be honest. That's what he's mad at him about.
But Jimmy, to be fair, I mean, Fury changed trainers for the second fight. So...
But to that point too, right? Fury's also probably the best big man boxer I've ever seen. I mean, up on his toes at his height, snapping jabs, keeping his head level. I mean, that dude keeps his body up level. He is a true boxer. So he can, like, he used that other guy as kind of a trainer. I think it was a motivated speaker. He even said he was coming to that fight 50%. His father said it. I think the problem was the public didn't believe him. And then when he went back after that fight and he come back in at 100, now he knew what he could do. And so, again, that's why I don't think the trainer made that much of a difference with him.
In the chat, somebody's saying, scripting college, he's saying, change does not equate to an excuse. And then he's laughing. Because you said
got rid of him.
It doesn't make, but...
Because the respect is gone. Why does he want him around if he's not going to respect him? He never has.
Yeah.
Can I say something? Has he ever listened to Mark Breland? Or, like, has Deontay Wilder ever took any of his advice on? Like, is this really going to change anything? Because apparently he's hiring his best friend to be his trainer. You know, or to replace Mark Breland in his training camp. So what does that mean? That means nothing.
Troy, go ahead.
He's just looking for a yes man. That's it.
Troy, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know who he's gonna replace Breland with. I mean, if he stays with the same camp he has now, which is JD's and nobody else, then you can't expect a different outcome because there's no one in there preaching change or no one in there saying, well, hey, let's try this. And I know this works because I have this experience. Mark Breland was the most experienced person and I believe the right man to train him. But you could be the best trainer in the world if your fighter does not listen and does not have the will or want to listen, then you could go talk to a wall instead, and you'll have more of a better opportunity to train a wall.
Why didn't Deontay Wilder fire JD instead of Mark Breland?
And that is the $1 million, because that's the $1 million question, baby. I don't know.
JD's didn't throw the towel. JD's didn't throw the towel. That's why he fired him. But Shelly Finkel said that Malik Scott was moving up into the place of Breland.
That's what I'm saying. Malik Scott is Deontay Wilder's best friend.
He also threw a fight for him.
Yep. So
he didn't fire JD's because that's the gym he started in, Deontay Wilder. He's kind of like not the manager, but that's where he started, and he's the owner of the gym. That's the reason.
Okay, so he needs the gym.
No,
but that's a little bit of
number one. Yes, man.
That's right, Jimmy.
Bro,
that's right.
It's simple. He fired him because he threw the towel. That's it, bro. He keeps he's alluding to that. His camp's alluding to that. He said he wanted to die in the fucking ring, and Breland took his chance away. So he fired him.
And leaving the kids behind.
Shit.
You know, that's what he wanted to do. He wanted to die in the ring and leave his baby's mama and
let's face it, man. Wilder would. I wish they would have not stopped the fight because Wilder was gonna get his fucking shit pushed back. I mean, he did already in 7 rounds.
Yeah.
Hey, man. Fuck. What was I gonna say? Wilder's pissed at Breland because Breland's gonna be the one that's holding his feet to the fire. You know, and if you ever fuck up, anybody's ever fucked up in life, sometimes that one person who's telling you what you need to hear, you're gonna be like, just get the fuck away from me. You don't want to hear the truth sometimes, and that's what I think is happening.
Facts.
Once again, yes men. He wants yes men around him.
All right.
Self-sabotage.
I guess we all agree. Well, anyways, next topic. Next topic.
How's our Henny Mendez doing?
Hey, Bucho, can I tell you too? I also heard that Breland. This is what I heard again from the same person. Remember the other night when I said I heard that Charlos was hovering around 50 or 60, and next thing you know, fucking Bob Arum said he heard 60. So I probably the same people who know him, anyways. That Breland was saying, "Don't take the third fight." That's what I was told. That Breland wasn't in on the third fight, like his heart wasn't in, and saying, "I don't think you should take it." That's what I was told, but I could, that could be hearing bogus information.
Right. But Jimmy, then it makes sense because if Wilder truly believes that he can win the third fight, then you don't want a guy around that's telling you, you know what, I don't think you should take the fight.
Yeah, it's like Breland. He lost in a devastating fashion. He didn't end his career on a high note. Maybe that's not a good thing for Wilder. You see what I'm saying?
Still wrong for us, baby.
Nobody. I mean,
yeah, no, I know because I'll tell you, Mark Breland. I'll tell you it all the time. Was one of the smoothest amateurs. I'll tell you, that kid fucking was such a just pretty is the only way to say it. He was such an excellent boxer, and to see Wilder have such bad form, it's crazy.
Yeah. But that's
I want
something
everybody to know this. Leo Santa Cruz. I'm sliding back to that for a second.
Yeah.
Leo Santa Cruz fought 7 times since 2016. Tank Davis has fought 9. So he's actually fought more fights than Leo Santa Cruz since 2016 in the past 4 years.
Against who and for how many rounds?
I don't give a his toughest opponent was an Instagram bimbo.
I don't care. Leo Santa Cruz, let's not act like all of his fights were fucking great. He fought Abner Morris twice and he fought Carl Frampton twice. And those were Carl Frampton was his toughest fight, but again, Carl Frampton's knocking out guys at 50%. He's no big mega puncher, and it was down at 125. We're talking about a Tank Davis that abused everybody like a redhead stepchild that came up from 125.
I mentioned Mike Tyson. I mentioned Gervonta being like a mini Mike Tyson. If Leo Santa Cruz fights like a Buster Douglas, motivated by maybe the sickness of his father, I think he's in critical. I don't know.
No, because Leo Santa Cruz don't have Buster Douglas's power. So
power
no,
of the
sir.
Mind. The power of the mind.
Well, I'm not talking about the knockout, but if he can box on the tip of his toes and put up a masterclass performance, maybe he gets it on points.
Using his
maybe.
face.
Hey, what's the wrong with the maybe? I mean, all right, fuck it. Tank Davis wins, all right.
I don't see a masterclass performance when you use your face as a goddamn shield.
I said maybe. I said maybe.
I want to see Tank Davis fight a lightweight. That's an elite lightweight. I don't even know why we're getting this crap fight. And it's a pay-per-view. It's a pay-per-view.
Look, Sepeda pulled it out of his ass, motivated by the death of his cousin, right? El Huicho, he had like a motorcycle accident.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's not because of that. Maybe he gets fucking knocked out.
Styles.
Because he just put that little extra. No, that was a pick-em. I mean, he just landed first. But that would have been Baranik winning that fight easily.
Here, D.
Bucho, say it again. Say it again, Bucho. It's a pay-per-view.
A pay-per-view.
Say it again.
Carl Frampton beat Benito Donaire. Right, and he beat Scott Quigg. Not two bad names. That's a Hall of Fame resume, you ask me. Especially Benito Donaire.
Good point.
And he beat Leo Santa Cruz as well.
D's prediction is really relying on his assumption that Tank is like in much better physical condition, much better trained this time around, based on Instagram shit.
D. Jefferson.
No, it's not. No. Don't miscategorize me like that. Because
do it, Rolison. Do it. Keep doing it.
Don't miscategorize me like that or what I said, because I gave way more reasons than just that. Like I said, Leo Santa Cruz uses his face as a goddamn punching bag, has fought nobody who's over 60% knockout, which means these guys that's punching him in his face and he's giving it to him like Jared Hurd did. None of them are knockout punches. Not fucking one of them.
Hey, man, people switch up their styles each fucking fight if they want to. Going up against Tank with the high shit, he's going to say, hey, look, I got to fight differently this time around. I can't be getting hit. I got
Exactly.
He says smart box, or I just say that he says smart box, or go ahead, recognize.
I want to know when we seen Leo Santa Cruz switch up his style. Every fight I seen him, his face was a goddamn punching bag.
So you think this is a garbage fight? You think it's a garbage fight? Then?
Yeah, it's a garbage
That's
fight.
a very garbage fight. Tank and Haney should be fighting each other. And this fight with Leo Santa Cruz and Haney's fight with Gamboa is fucking as useless as a penny with a hole in it.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I think especially the Gamboa.
You know what? If promoters were still promoters, you would have Tank Haney and Russell versus Santa Cruz on the same card.
Yes, I would too. I would.
Yeah.
Too. Yep.
Just because of the situation that boxing is in right now, and there's no live gate and all that. You know, Don King used to do that when Tyson went to jail. He would give you 3-4 championship fights to justify charging pay-per-view. And I don't understand why nobody's doing that right now. You know, giving us the Charlos as pay-per-view is not. That's not. You know, it's not pay-per-view, baby. It's really not.
Hey, Charlo against that Charlo twin pay-per-view generated between 100 and 120,000 pay-per-view buys. Success or not?
I heard that's not true too. By the way, that's Mike Coppinger.
Wow.
Again, brother, that's Mike Coppinger who said that. And Mike Coppinger historically always goes over. He was over on the Pacquiao Broner. He was over on Spence Thurman. Not Spence Thurman. Spence Garcia by 60,000. He's always over. What he does, he adds on the after buys in streams. That's why he says potentially going to this. It's at 100, potentially going to 120. Straight up, I heard it was no more than 60. That's again, I heard that was the final.
Yeah, I heard it was 67,000, but from a source. But
in other words, it was garbage.
Pretty much
trash.
Yeah.
And it's funny how the same people who wrote articles and shit all over Triple G for doing 150, a kid from Kazakhstan, his first fucking pay-per-view. Remember, the people just torched him, relentless, for just 150. The same fuckers now are saying, why are fans into fucking pay-per-view numbers? This is ridiculous.
That situation was different. That situation with Triple D was. I'm gonna tell you why that situation was different. You had the live gate then, and you had a hype machine behind him like crazy. I'm gonna say that these cats don't have that hype machine behind them, and they're in a different, what you would call, time with the pandemic and everything going on. So these smaller numbers are actually a bigger success for them, and the smaller number for Triple G was a failure for him back then because he had the live gate. He had the.
I know the crowd.
That was an absurd thing.
I know the crowd. The crowd with Triple G was definitely a success because that shit was a sellout. That shit was banging the way Trinidad. When I don't know if you guys ever been to a Trinidad fight at the Garden, it was just that like that.
I just have to address that one thing, please, because seriously, a kid from Kazakhstan who can't even speak English sells 150,000 pay-per-views his first time in America, and did record sellout numbers at Madison Square Garden. That is somehow a failure. While two American-born doubleheader didn't do half his numbers, and whether the live gate has nothing to do with pay-per-view sales.
Why is
and they've been champions for years. I don't know how you made that conflation.
The Charlos are boring.
Here's another thing to consider.
I explained it. We're in the pandemic. There's no live gate, and you know they don't have a hype machine behind them like HBO and all of that constantly pushing them. They do not have that hype machine.
That's
Triple G.
Their
from
choice.
he came
Also,
out,
that's
had
their
that hype
choice.
machine.
They could have fought on HBO.
Well, they could have fought like hold on. They could have fought like Golovkin did, and maybe they would have gotten some fans.
Can I ask a question?
I personally believe they should have left it on Fox.
They could knock out people like Golovkin.
They are
non-stop.
Let me ask this. We're talking about numbers. We're talking about sales of pay-per-views. I want to know the disparity in how much money was spent by promoters marketing like Golovkin versus marketing, I don't know, an Andre Ward or somebody. Like, how much more money did they give the American fighter to advertise the fight? And then you had Triple G. How much money did they spend trying to advertise?
How much money? Hold on. Can I say something about the Golovkin thing? What type of special treatment did he get that other boxers didn't get? Like, what type of special promotion?
None, zero.
Because
Nada.
let me finish.
Zero. He knocked people out.
No, the Golovkin was fighting three times a year. He was fighting three times a year and knocking these fighters out. He wasn't taking fucking a year layoff and then having a finally getting a fight, and then he gets a decision and stinking the fucking joint out. No, this guy was knocking people out. He didn't get any special treatment. Let's keep it real.
No, yes,
exactly.
Special treatment.
He didn't get any special treatment, but I don't think we're gonna sit here and jump on Golovkin's nut trail either, because his resume ain't fucking
Listen,
hold on. Let me talk. Hold on, Jimmy. Hold on. I'm speaking. Hold on. Can you guys hear me? Hold on.
A lot of people.
Jesus Christ, nobody can hear me.
I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you.
I got you.
I can hear you, Bucho. Nobody else can. I think they're just trying to speak over you.
I don't know. Let me get feedback, because I don't know. I was trying to speak.
Jimmy can hear you too. I think everybody else don't give a fuck.
Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay,
I was trying to say that I wasn't even talking about. I was saying that I wasn't even talking about Golovkin's fucking record or anything like that.
This is what
I was talking about. Hold on, I was talking about the fact that he became somewhat of a superstar, and like Jimmy said, he was selling out. He sold out Madison Square Garden, and he wasn't even fighting a Latino or a Mexican or anything like. He was fighting David Lemieux from Quebec, Canada. All right, and he managed to sell out Madison Square Garden. Now, are you gonna tell me he sold that arena because HBO somehow promoted that fight differently, right? They actually put in more money, and no, because at that time when he fought Lemieux, Golovkin was on a roll. He was fighting 3 times a year. He was knocking people out, and that was it. Now, I wasn't talking about his record. I was talking about why he was popular with the fans, and that was because of the work he put in the ring. And again, he was fighting consistently, so people knew who the hell he was. He wasn't disappearing after a fight 6 months later. Not more than that, a layoff, and then what else? He wasn't sticking the joint out. So come on, man.
Man, listen, boxing.
I'd like to add to that.
It wasn't D who made that comment. It was me, man. It was me. Yeah.
Okay, I don't know. Somebody was talking over me nonstop. And,
can you guys hear me?
I can hear you recognize.
Because nobody
can hear you recognize. I can hear you. I can hear you, bro.
Okay, listen. Triple G, you got to understand, boxing numbers and boxing, who gets paid, whatever. It's not just black and white, and I literally mean that. It's not black and white, okay? There's some gray area. He's an exciting fighter, so a lot of people liked him. He may not do good in pay-per-views, but I'm telling you, I was at the Garden in both of his fights, one with Derevianchenko, the other one with Lemieux, and that shit was hyped. It was, people appreciate that kind of boxing. Now you may not like it, but remember, you don't represent the whole world. And some people think it has something to do with race. Maybe it does. Some people think that, you just a casual because you like guys that go at it. Yes, people take that into consideration. If I'm not a boxing fan, don't try to sell me Floyd Mayweather. I'm gonna tell you, get the fuck out of here, man.
Hey,
I want to see action. I want to see Manny Pacquiao. That's what I want to see. Don't
Vladimir Klitschko
fighting on the back foot.
Vladimir Klitschko was white.
A boxing fan.
Vladimir Klitschko was white, and he was boring as hell, and HBO kicked him the hell out, man. So where's the? I don't want that excuse, man. Come on, Klitschko was white, as white as they come, and nobody wanted to see his fucking fights. So bullshit, man.
Yeah.
Let me add to the Golovkin.
And to add to that, he was a puncher too, and he was boring. He had power.
All right, to add to that, to bring it back to fucking, to bring it to wrestling. Y'all remember Goldberg?
Yes, Goldberg.
Goldberg was
Goldberg.
He went on the undefeated streak, and he was beating really nobodies. He would have a big fight once in a while, but he was hot because he'd come out and he would smash dudes every week. They were quick matches, getting them out. If you actually look at the resume, it doesn't really mean shit, but people were hyped for it.
Didn't Hulk Hogan
see somebody who destroy shit?
Didn't they past his prime? Hulk Hogan beat him.
No, it was the other way around.
Oh, okay.
That was his biggest win.
Right.
Yeah.
That was in Atlanta. They sold the place out. The crowd was fucking hot.
Yeah, but brother, you know those are choreographed, right? I mean, they have the.
No.
I'm talking about.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right. No, I was just. All right, brother. I was just checking.
I know, dude. I'm in. All right, I'm in wrestling school, Jimmy.
It's like telling a 9-year-old.
Okay, brother. Just checking.
Check this out,
Telling a
guys.
9-year-old
Okay.
that.
I'm not finished giving GGG his correct heat. Fuck that, because I'm like, I want to set some shit straight. GGG in 2016 knocked out who? Fucking Kell Brook coming up from 147. He couldn't knock out Danny Jacobs. Then he couldn't knock out fucking Canelo Alvarez. He knocks out Vanis Monterosian. Turn around, can't knock out Canelo Alvarez. He knocks out a Steve Rose. Turn around, can't knock out Derevarenchenko. But we keep talking about, GGG knocked this guy out. GGG knocked that guy out. Give him the same fucking heat of these other guys when you step up.
But dude, nothing you just said has anything to do with this first pay-per-view. Up until his first pay-per-view, he was going through people like hot knives through butter, regardless of who they were. All right, but you don't. But hold that same fucking argument. Who when you're talking about the Charlos? Say that same who when you're talking about Davis.
I do hold that same.
No, you don't, dude. You're holding Triple G to a certain standard. The fact that he blows through dudes 3 times a week, it had nothing to do with HBO holding his nuts. Von Bluffman had to suck balls to get him on HBO.
All right, hold on.
That's complete.
Hold on, Gonzalo.
Let me respond to that. Hold on, Gonzalo. Jimmy.
No, you didn't respond. You didn't even let me finish.
No, let me talk for a second. You're like super full of shit because you haven't seen enough of my videos. I have a fucking video up destroying both Charlos, destroying Wilder, destroying Tank. So don't tell me I don't keep the same energy. I'm not these fucking yin yangs and LDBC out here. I talk the same shit, but I don't hear that same shit when it comes to the level of opponent for GGG. And I do keep the same energy. I got fucking receipts on my channel. So kill that shit.
Well, I don't watch your channel, dude. Sorry, I don't watch your channel. I go by what you're saying here. And earlier in the conversation, you weren't saying that same shit about Davis.
Don't tell me what I don't say if you don't watch my channel, because I do say those things. And I knock out all these fucking fanboys when they try to put them up on the pedestal too. So don't even come here with that bullshit.
All right, you just came with that same old tired bullshit by starting to fucking repeat who he just fought and when he just fought. Yes, after, but of course you neglected to lay out that the fucking procession of world level champions who either actually paid Triple G money to go away or straight up like Frotch. You don't fight him, you swerve him. You got the fucking Maltese. Come on, please.
Name them.
People
Name
after
the fighters
nobody would.
They just don't talk about
All right, hold on. Can I just say something?
Okay,
Jimmy.
And when he was fighting, he was destroying people, so he earned his way on HBO.
Can I say something? Listen, nobody has ever knocked out Canelo. So I mean, I'm gonna take away from Golovkin.
I added Jacobs.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, I know, but you added Canelo, so I'm gonna mention Canelo. You mentioned Canelo.
Yeah, but I also mentioned other names.
I'm gonna say another name, but I want to finish what I have to say.
It's not doing these nights.
All right, let's calm down. You're right. Jacobs, you mentioned him as well. I was gonna mention him. Pirog, whatever his name was. He knocked him out. Okay, you know. But what else? What I was trying to say. Listen, his record.
Pirog. That's the only guy that knocked out Jacobs.
Yeah,
he retired.
He's
great fighter.
Golovkin. Listen, I think he has an okay record. I'm not one of these guys who's saying he's the best of all time or something. Nothing crazy like that. But my point was that he became popular because he was consistent. He was on television consistently 3 times a year, knocking people out. He was knocking contenders, right? And some of these fighters didn't want to face him. So that's how good he was. Now, he didn't become popular because he said, "Oh, Mexican style," and all the Mexicans went crazy. Hey, he said that. Nah, it's because he was putting it in the ring, man. He was putting the work in the ring. That's all I want to say, man. His record, yeah, sure, we can debate his record.
I agree with this. That neither Charlo or the Triple G's fought anyone that's going to set the world on fire. I agree with that. But as I'm going to go back to what I was saying is that one of them did have a hype machine behind him called HBO. They were praising him so much. At the same time, you had other fighters there. I think Ward was there, and just other fighters that were there who were much more skillful and fought just as often as Triple G, but they did not give them the same praise, and they actually fought better competition.
Like who? Can you give us an example? An example?
Yeah. Ward did the 666, and he beat all them people. Then he fought the.
That was an HBO. That was an HBO. Yeah. But go ahead, Troy.
Yeah, and then he got
thrashed
by Kovalev in the first fight.
I'm sorry about that. I'm simply saying that my point is that Triple G was hyped. It doesn't matter whether you agree you agree with me or not. He was hyped. They actually talked. No, please, come on. They actually talked about him like he could walk on water. He was the next best thing.
That's how you interpret it.
And the fact is that he was not.
All right, let me say something, Troy. Okay, I get your point. But here's the thing, though.
Yeah.
I also said, and I clearly said that Golovkin, the way he fought was exciting, and he fought 3 times a year. Yeah. Are you telling me? Hold on, Troy? Are you telling me Andre Ward did those things that I just mentioned?
Andre Ward fought a lot too when he can
answer my question. Did he? Answer my question. Did he fight? Did he do those things that I just mentioned that Golovkin achieved? Or
what things did he fight? Exciting?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, Andre Ward fought how Andre Ward fought. Some of it was rough and tough, and some of it was.
Go watch the Super 6.
But the fact is that
go watch the Super 6, Troy. You gotta be honest with us.
And it looked good to me, so I'm gonna say yes.
All right.
Now you see, that's the bullshit I don't do right there. Because Ward was fucking boring shit. That's the bullshit that I don't do.
Well, that's what I'm saying, D.
Andre Ward fought as a boxer, but he was a rough guy in there. He was rough. He wasn't a puncher, so he didn't come with that puncher's mentality. Triple G was
strong,
straightforward, right?
He was tough and strong with Andre Ward. Andre Ward.
What do you mean stop it, man? I answered his question. What do you mean stop it?
Stu, go ahead, Stu. I want to let Stu.
It doesn't sound sincere because to me, Andre Ward was not fucking exciting, fam. It wasn't.
All right, Stu, go ahead, Stu.
To you, that's exactly you.
To most people.
General consensus, Troy. You trying to pump him up like they was trying to pump GGG up. This is the shit that I'm talking about. I don't do it on either side. Well, you gotta be honest about it.
He fought the typical competition, and he fought his style, and it looked good to me. Triple G style looked good to me.
But Troy, it didn't translate to pay-per-view sales.
Can I ask Troy something?
Wait, hold on. BDA. Because Stu wants to say something. He's been trying to say something for a long time. So I want to let him.
Can I, please?
Go ahead, Stu.
Fuck, right. Andre Ward stunk the joint out time after time.
He's making up to you.
Listen, let me fucking finish, man. This show, man. This is what I mean, Troy. You got to let people talk, brother. I've sat here quiet for 45 minutes. I've said a word, and you're just stealing the little 30 seconds I'm getting. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, he stunk the joint out time after time. But when Golovkin was an exciting fight, but when you compare the resumes, Andre Ward's got a lot better resume than Golovkin. Fought a lot better guys. So just no comparison, really. So it's what you like, isn't it? Excitement, Golovkin all day long. Resume, Andre Ward. That's where I am with.
I appreciate both fighters. That was a point. That was my freaking point.
But here's my question.
Both of them.
Well, you can appreciate it without claiming that Ward was exciting when that motherfucker was a snooze fest half the time.
But here's my thing, Troy. Be honest. Troy, you keep saying to me he was exciting, but be honest, man. Do you think most boxing fans would prefer to watch Golovkin or Ward? Like, come on, objectively speaking, which is more entertaining?
Would prefer Triple G, but at the same time, most boxing fans didn't pay to see Triple G fight all these other fighters that Andre Ward did. Most boxing fans didn't pay to see him finish his career by stopping old boy at 175 there, whose name escapes me right now, right? You understand what I'm saying? So you have a
yeah, but come on, man. That's
right. Obviously, he had the fan base that actually paid to see him fight, right? Right?
Stu, go ahead.
Yes or no? And Triple G has a fan base that paid to see him fight. And leave it up to me because I'm a boxing fan. I would pay to see both of them fight for different reasons.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the point, though, Bucho. I gotta interject you because that's the point that you were making, Bucho. Hold on. The point was that's the point. Triple G has more people watching because he's more entertaining. You may find Ward more entertaining or just as entertaining as Golovkin, but the reality is, if you add in the average boxing fan as well, or the average sports fan who's not necessarily a boxing fan, they would prefer to see a guy going in like Mike Tyson, knocking people out, than Andrew Ward, who has to work hard for 12 rounds to get a decision. That's all I'm saying.
I agree with you on that point.
Andre Ward against Kovalev in the second fight actually put me off boxing for a few months. It was just horrible to watch. It was just it left a bad stain on boxing for me. Look, I'm not taking anything away from Ward. He probably would have beat Kovalev that night anyway. It looked like Ward was probably taken over anyway, but what he did that night to get away with it as well. And I'm not going to let Kovalev get away with this one either. The man showed no heart whatsoever.
Say what you got to say, man. It's too much minutia. Go ahead and say what you got to say and stop stalling, man. You got too many words to say. Just say it. Say it.
Hey, Troy, do you know what it is, right? This is our show, not yours. So, as a guest, you need to show some manners because we can quite easily take the place off the phone. You're rude, man.
I'm gonna say this, man.
Look, I'll talk how I want to talk because I can, and I'll take as long as I have to take. At the end of the day, I've listened here for 40 minutes, listening to you rambling on about nothing. So
that's true. That's true. Kovalev didn't look that great either.
That's a lie. You haven't heard me for 40 minutes. That's a lie.
Yeah, thank God for that.
No, but you know what it is, though? Troy seems to be taking this personal. Troy, you seem to be taking this personal, man.
No, I'm not.
But because, come on, you're saying you keep defending Ward. You kept going after Bucho with the point that, no, but I like watching Ward. Yeah, but you clearly know that if most people were to choose, they would choose to watch Triple G because he's more entertaining. Hence why he was having more success and more viewership.
Every time you said that, I agree with you every single time you said that.
Okay. Now, here's the other thing I want to say in regards to boredom. I once got into it with a dude in the comment section because he was telling me Vladimir Klitschko was entertaining because I did a video shitting on Klitschko saying he was one of the most boring fighters. And this guy was telling me, well, obviously he wasn't boring because tons of people in Germany would watch him. Yeah, but there's factors involved to why certain people watch a fight, a guy. Germany, let's face it, they got nothing going on other than the fact that they lost the war 50-something, more than 6-7 years ago. They got soccer. That's about it. So if they got a guy coming in, whether he's Ukrainian, Russian, whatever, and he's fighting, these guys, for some reason, it's like with Mayweather. Mayweather wasn't the most entertaining, but he was attracting crowds at some point later in his career because of several factors. Same thing with Klitschko. But objectively speaking, Vladimir Klitschko was a boring fighter, and most boxing fans can agree that his jabbing clutch style was boring. So we got to keep, you can objectively, you can say, well, I liked, watching Paulie Malignaggi fight. There was something about the way he didn't have any punching power and still win. That was entertaining to me. But overall, it's not fun. And I think most people can agree with it.
So that's why Ward didn't have a large following, in my opinion.
Yeah, he was fucking boring.
Yeah, look,
there's facts to back that up. Sorry, Stu, go.
Yeah, I was just saying, if you get entertained by watching Andre Ward fighting, then you really need to evaluate your life, Troy.
Well, I want to say this. Everybody keeps trying to stop me from taking a shot at that goddamn GGG. That motherfucker didn't knock out nobody significant until 2015 when he knocked out Lemieux. All of those goddamn.
Yeah, D. Jefferson. But where else? Let me say something. Let me say something real fast. Let me say something. What other middleweights at the elite level are knocking each other out?
I don't give a shit, Gonzalo. I'm talking about GGG.
Well, you don't.
Nobody
give a
cares
shit,
what
but
you
we're
don't
talking
give a
about
shit
the
about.
middleweight
It's
division.
reality.
You're holding them to a different standard.
It's reality.
What other middleweights at the elite level are knocking each other out?
No,
I'm not knocking them out.
Your bias.
Carlos are knocking them out. Danny Jacobs knocking them out. No, none of these guys are knocking each other out.
We go right here.
Can we get along?
But as soon as I do GGG, motherfuckers start crying.
Make a point. Every time I made a point, you say I don't give a shit.
Yeah, because I've already given them their heat, Gonzalo.
But
nobody say shit. If I say Charlo ain't get a goddamn thing, every one of y'all will agree. As soon as I say that about GGG, it's a different goddamn story.
You're discrediting the whole.
Hang on a minute here. No,
you're discrediting the whole middleweight division. That's what you're doing.
Hang on a minute here. That's not true. I've already done a video about Charlo, criticizing.
Not you, Stuart. But I'm just saying, I don't get no feedback. If I say Charlo ain't done a goddamn thing, I don't get no feedback. As soon as I come out and say GBG ain't did shit significant.
Because you're bullshitting when you say Triple P hasn't done it.
So give me a middleweight.
You're
give me one middleweight.
Yeah, I went to the bathroom.
Everybody out.
Just went to the
Give me
fucking
guy
bathroom.
that's knocking everybody out. No, they're not.
You're bullshitting
so you're
when you say Triple P ain't doing nothing.
That's what you're doing.
I said he didn't knock anybody out significant until David Lemieux. That's what I said.
Well, name it.
I think Billy goes Jordan.
Everybody out in the middleweight.
I didn't say that there was boxers that knocked everybody out.
All right. I gotta take over. Hold on, guys. I gotta take over. Guys. Everybody's talking over each other. This has really been a true kumite. Let me tell you. First of all, number one. Let's break it down. Because, I mean, we can say, well, who do you rank as a good middleweight, blah, blah, blah. We're going to go in circles. Let's break down Triple G's resume. Because, your point is he didn't knock out anybody of note. Obviously, he didn't fight Cotto. He didn't fight Martinez.
Because those two dudes were ducking the shit out of him.
Okay, but he didn't fight him. But guys, he didn't fight him.
Both 154 fighters, though.
Okay.
They're still ducking him.
But let's take a look at the guys he did fight, okay? Matthew Macklin gave Sergio Martinez, who was the champ at the time.
No, that was Martin Murray. Yeah, Macklin did as well, I suppose. But come on, Macklin's useless.
But hold on.
I know where he's going.
They were top contenders. You can't come in here and tell me they were bums. They were top contenders. I mean, he gave the lineal champ a very tough fight. Golovkin goes in there and knocks him out in, what was it, 2-3 rounds?
But this is a guy that got slept.
When Deontay Wilder beat him. So what the fuck does that mean? Malik Scott was actually ranked when Deontay Wilder beat him.
No, but hold on.
Macklin got knocked out cold by Jamie Murray before Golovkin even got his hands on him.
Okay, but hold on a second. I'm not just basing this
on... Yeah. Hold on. You guys are nitpicking. Go ahead, Mr. BDA.
Come on. What was it? Yeah, okay. Let's jump straight ahead to fucking Martin Murray. Big fucking strong middleweight who a lot of people thought should have gotten the decision against Sergio Martinez. Okay, did Sergio Martinez have the knee of a prostitute? Okay, yeah, maybe. But that was Martin Murray. Martinez had very good punching power, and he could barely pierce Murray's guard. Golovkin goes in there, throws him a beating, drops him twice, whatever. So, I mean, you cannot tell me Martin Murray was not a good opponent. Go ahead.
BDA, whichever one it is.
BDA.
Martin Murray has a fucking 37% knockout ratio with 5 losses and a draw. This dude ain't shit. He ain't shit.
D, you judge boxing the way you judge. Hold on. D judges boxing the way he judges basketball, and it's not the same.
And he didn't have the 5 losses when he fought GGG. He might have the 5 losses now.
Well, let's talk about this Martin Murray then, since I judge it like basketball, recognize or
yes, you do. Okay,
I want to correct. Give me the lowdown. Recognize. You give me your lowdown about the great Martin Murray and judge it in boxing. Break it down.
Let me real quick. Hold up.
Hold on. Shut up for a second. Let me see what I gotta say.
You go.
You can't handle the truth. You can't. Okay. First of all, you gotta look at schedule. Who did they fight in their fucking resume? Okay, you got to look at that. Sammy the Bull. What's his? Not Sammy the Bull. What's the mother? Jake LaMotta. Sammy the Bull. Jake LaMotta had a fucking very low knockout percentage, but was known as a dangerous, strong puncher in his career. Okay, but his knockout percentage was very low. All right, so the way you're judging it is all wrong. And here's another thing. Martin Murray past his prime hasn't been knocked out even though he's fighting in a higher weight class.
Can I add something? That I recognize, but please don't interrupt me, somebody. Look, I'm going to name a fallacy that you just mentioned, D. Jefferson. You said he got 5 losses. When he fought Golovkin, he had only lost 1 time against Sergio Martinez, and he got robbed that fight. So it's not that he had 5 losses. He had only lost 1 time and had a draw. Those 5 losses is not accurate.
That's what I was going to say.
Okay.
Not true,
so
Revolution.
What are we talking about?
100%.
Hold on for a second, because I'm not that fucking dumb with history. Like I always say, I'm no history buff, but y'all can't pull this fucking wool over my eyes all the time. Sergio Martinez was probably Murray's best fight prior to that. It was probably his best fight, most notable fight, and he fucking lost it. I don't care if you don't want to agree with the judges. It's in the books. He fucking lost that fight.
Yeah, but that's only one fight. That's only one fight. Had 5 losses. You said he had 5 losses.
Show the same respect. You just say you didn't want nobody to cut you off, so show the same respect. You give me some significant fighters that makes this guy a ooh, all, ow. When he went in there to fight fucking Golovkin. He was not all of that, bro. We're not gonna fucking pump Murray up like he was some fucking deadly fucking guy, and he wasn't. He wasn't.
Well, hold on. Nobody said he was a Canelo type guy, but he was a top contender, and Triple G spanked him. I mean, come on, you know boxing, man. When you have Triple G going after these top contenders, and he's going through them like a hot knife through butter, that doesn't like. Are you telling me that Charlo's on the same level as Golovkin in terms of resume and performance?
Not on the same level, but I never said that. That's what I was trying to tell Jimmy. I don't say stupid shit like that. I've never said Charlo was on that level.
I just wanted to clarify. I
even alluded to it.
Bang him with baby oil.
I got a valid point. A valid point is that you could take somebody who doesn't watch boxing at all.
Say stupid shit. I mean, nobody's perfect.
You could take someone who's never watched boxing at all, sit them down, turn on a Golovkin fight, and they'll watch it. And then by the end of it, you can say, hey, do you want to watch his next one? And they'll say, probably, all right, fuck yeah. Yo, he kicked his ass. And then they'll probably keep going on and on. Whereas somebody, you show them a Charlo fight, they'll be like, okay, that was cool. Like, GGG was just exciting. I could sit down and watch the whole fucking knockout streak, the whole fights. It's fucking dope. I don't care. I'm not saying that. This
but that
is
doesn't mean he's not there to be criticised. This is the problem. This is the problem.
Hold on.
Hang on a minute. This is the problem. A lot of people don't like to hear any criticism on here about Golovkin, and Golovkin's like every fighter. He's got his faults, and he's there to be criticised. And that's what we're meant to do, isn't it? We're meant to break these fighters' resumes down, pick them apart, because that's what we do. I mean, look. Golovkin's still a world-class fighter, always will be in my eyes, but the guy's nowhere near as good as some of you guys are saying.
But look, the he's still champion, still.
Nobody said that.
He's still champion. Why no champion? Because Canelo didn't bother going after that belt. Otherwise, he wouldn't be champion. Trust me. What?
Stu, why nobody hasn't beaten the shit out of the guy that's really not that good? Like you said.
No, I didn't say he's not. No, I didn't say he's not that good. I just said he's not as good as people think right now.
Okay, but what? Is he not as good as Jesus? Is he not as good as who? Like who?
All right, well, hold on. Recognize. I got a question for you. Who's more exciting in a fight? Fucking GGG or Tank Davis?
G.
Yeah.
Shit. Tank Davis ain't.
Oh, that's your opinion.
But y'all gonna put excited by fucking knocking guys out.
Your opinion is not God.
Did you?
Nah.
D, did you not see the Gamboa fight? Did you not see that fight, miss?
Put Triple G in there with a guy who's triple, and I guarantee put Triple G in there with a guy who's triple, and I guarantee
that was not exciting.
In fucking one round.
That's exciting.
You'll knock him out in one round.
My mind's telling no.
What the fuck is that?
Just like I said, Steve Rose, was that a great fight? Was that a great, impressive fight by fucking GGG? No.
Yes, it was. He knocked them out. I mean, not an impressive opponent.
He's meant to be knocking these guys out. If he doesn't, there's a problem, isn't there?
Yeah,
I mean, if he hadn't
stopped, like D would be like, oh my God, he went 12 rounds.
D's not giving a compliment. He's saying he's meant to knock out. He's been handed fucking bums on the platter to knock out, regardless of how they got there. Let me finish, dude. Will you let me fucking finish? Somebody give me more than 10 seconds.
Go ahead, Jimmy.
Damn.
Go ahead, Jimmy.
I'm just saying this. Simple as this. Triple G fought everybody. He was on a quest to do 3 times a year. You know how hard that is in today's fucking time? This is, let's take emotions out of it. Let's just look facts. Canelo, fact, gave his belt up and waited 2 years until Triple G was significantly old enough You could see with your eyes after the Jacob fights before he was willing to go in, and he objectively lost that first fight. Okay, and he's a fucking monster. Triple G destroyed, not beat, not in when, absolutely annihilated everybody they put in front of him. He didn't handpick people. When he was taking anybody he would fight. That was when
Lomachenko, he didn't.
But by then, dude, he was 38 years old.
Yeah,
but Stu, by then
we're
he was
talking about now, aren't we? This is what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, yes, now, yes. Listen, I'm the one who said Triple G because he never, after what happened, I said I can't put him at the same all-time great as Marvin Hagler. A lot of people put Triple G as an all-time great middleweight. I can't. But my point is this. What the fuck?
The hell is that?
All right.
Let Jimmy finish. Go ahead, Jim.
Stu, for the same reason why I first got turned on for you, because you were making these same arguments back in 2016. You were the one, and that's what I respect about you, because you kept it real. You listed all the fighters that ducked him. You listed the people, what they were doing to not to fight him. And you said, regardless of his competition, he is doing what he's supposed to do with guys at that level. He's not hanging around with these guys. He's making, and again, and it did. I thought he looked old towards Jacobs. You could see the age caught in. I think the big bear caught up him. I thought he looked terrible against Derenchenko. Personally, I think he should retire. I might be the only one in this panel saying
no. I agree.
don't want to see him even fight anymore.
Oh, we're losing Stu. Stu, are you there?
Great middleweight, even though I pick his resume apart. Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, good. Go ahead.
I can hear you, brother.
Yeah, look, Golovkin is an all-time great middleweight in my eyes still, but I have to keep it real. When I'm breaking that resume down, it's there to be picked apart. And and just the way he's fighting right now, so he looks old in the ring, and he's still good enough to hold it with most of them in there. Trust me, I'll pick him to beat Charlo still. So I'm not trying to say this guy's a bum. I'm just trying to say you've got to keep it real when you're breaking that resume. Marta Rosen, that name shouldn't be on that resume. Steve Rolls shouldn't be there. Willie Monroe shouldn't be there. Macklin should be. All right, I know a lot of guys have been ducking him, but a lot of guys have also stepped up and said they want to fight. Golovkin ain't looking to fight anyone apart from Canelo right now. He's just fighting these chumps until he gets another Canelo shot. Wasted so many.
Are you gonna tell me that the Deveryachenko fight was
off the wagon?
Can I jump in?
Are you gonna tell me that the Deveryachenko fight wasn't one of the best fights of last year? I got it in my top 3, top 4.
All right, hold on. Shit just got real because we have Precise. Precise, welcome to the show.
Hey, Precise, how you doing?
What's up, Precise?
You mind if I step in? You mind if I step in here and add to the conversation?
All right, go ahead.
Okay, what I was saying when this whole thing started with the Triple G and the Ward is that yes, Triple G is a more easier watch because of his style. No one's going to disagree with you on that. I'm not a fool or anything like that, right? I'm not looking to argue with that. He's a much easier to watch, but at the same time, what I was simply saying is that Ward has more talent and he's fought better people, but he doesn't get as much hype as Triple G. That's all I was saying. And then they went off the rails and went someplace else. That's all I was saying.
All right. Thank you for clarifying. Precise. Are you there?
Somebody's got to put a battery in their fire alarm.
Yeah.
or put out the fire. Yo, I think Triple G's resume is probably top 5 of all the current boxers. Maybe not counting out Pacquiao, who probably should have retired. Well, I won't say should have, but he's from the old generation, I guess. I think his resume is completely and utterly underrated. I mean, it's a very good resume, one of the best in boxing. But I'm not really trying to get into that. People have their own opinions. It is what it is. I think if you break it down and really think about who actually is on that resume, yeah, he made a lot of them guys look like bums. But I mean, Marta Rosen arguably, for me, for sure, beat Erislandy Lara twice. And I'm not saying Lara was some kind of great fighter, but he beat him twice for me. He beat Charlo for me. I thought he beat Charlo clearly. So like Marta Rosen is actually one of, not a great name or anything like that, but it's a solid name on his resume. Martin Murray, I mean, that should have been the lineal champion at middleweight, right? If you thought him fighting Martinez would have been a great name on his resume, well, as far as popularity goes, sure. But he actually destroyed the guy that, in many people's eyes, myself included, went to Argentina and beat Martinez. So, you know, if Martinez were to be like a worthy victory, then Martin Murray was actually a better victory. So
Yeah,
I don't think
that
people
Martinez
are
was
giving.
shot, though. That
It
Martinez
doesn't
was shot.
matter
His
if he
legs
was
had
or was.
his legs
Yeah,
had
but
gone.
that's easy. Yeah, but that's easy to say. He was shot. You know, it'd be like if your motivation is to shit on Triple G's resume, then everybody he fought is a bum, and everybody that he fought that beat somebody, they only beat them because they weren't shit. So if that's how you want to look at it, I mean, you know, it's subjective. You can look at it, but you know, put everybody else's resume to that tough standard. I think Triple G's resume is, and I stand by this, and maybe one day I'll make a video about it because you could talk about this for days and bicker about it forever. I think it's top 5 in boxing right now. Not just the fact that he fought, yeah, he didn't fight a lot of names, but come on, man, he beat Canelo. Like, and the second fight could have gone
Yeah,
either way. I had
he did beat
Canelo
him.
winning. I had
Yeah,
Canelo winning the second fight. I'm not going to trip
me
about
too.
that. But I mean, I can't. If I look at the two fights that them two had, Triple G still comes out on top because he clearly beat Canelo in the first fight.
Mm-hmm.
And even though I had Canelo winning the second fight, that's debatable, right? And that's Canelo that's juiced and loading his gloves. Let's not forget about that. Did he ever make weight for that fight? I don't know. It's, you know, Daniel Jacobs was a very good victory, especially given the circumstances, which, you know, conveniently, like, or for whatever reason, they don't get discussed. I think Triple G's resume is a lot better than some people give him credit for. I stand by that. I give up the.
Well, I think Jacobs the cruiserweight.
I think GGG's resume is better than a lot of people give him credit for. I also think that GGG's resume is overblown by a lot of his fans. Let me say that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you'll have that with any fighter, you know what I mean? You could always criticize a fighter's stance.
That's a fact. That's a fact. But a lot
Yeah,
of fans.
I think we're in an era of boxing now where most fighters have got a resume you can pick them up. Look at Tyson Fury. I mean, everyone's ranting and raving about Tyson Fury. Look at his resume. I mean, you can pick that apart all day long. So look, every fighter has that. It's just the praise Golovkin gets, which he deserves because he is an all-time guy. I don't care. Sometimes resume, it doesn't matter. The eye test is enough for me. So I know how good this guy was. But look, there's a lot of names that shouldn't have been there. And there was a lot of performances that I just thought Golovkin wasn't at his best. Let's just say that to keep it kind.
Well, can I say something about that? Yeah, man. I mean, listen. The way I see it is Golovkin fought a lot of contenders and beat them easily. Very few even landed a solid punch on the guy or gave him a tough fight. It wasn't until he fought Jacobs, fucking cruiserweight almost in there, that he finally went 12 rounds. Now, it brings up an interesting thing here because if we want to talk fantasy fights, we can take into account the way he performed against Canelo in the first fight. I'm not going to give Triple G credit in terms of resume for the first Canelo fight, because even though I thought he clearly won that fight, you know, the judges said no, so I can't in good faith say, okay, he won that. But if we're going to talk how good he is and skills and talent, I mean, come on, then you can take that into account and say, look, he beat Canelo, clearly. I mean, who has looked as good as Triple G did in the first fight against Canelo? I mean, it's Lara. Some people say he beat Canelo, but that was a very close fight. And, of course, you have to go all the way back.
I think, I had Golovkin winning that fight. But I honestly think Canelo way better. Yeah, but Canelo, I think that fight, I've always said this, I don't believe he thought he could beat Golovkin that night. And it showed in the ring that. And I think Canelo saw something late on in the first fight and took it on to the second fight. And that's why I had him winning the second one. But Canelo has moved on from that. Fighting Golovkin has made Canelo a much better fighter. I will say that.
The reason I say Golovkin is one of the greats is that I know all the fighters you just mentioned, if they fight Triple G in Kazakhstan or Germany, Triple G murders them. Every single guy you just mentioned. Everything straight up. You got to win. You either win or you lose. Either way, you get in that ring. I think
that's another thing that a lot of people don't. That's another thing a lot of people don't consider. It's like he must have been the first Eastern European, maybe, I don't know, fighter to even get on pay-per-view in the United States, to even get so many fans. Like, that in and of itself is what makes him great. You know what I mean? Like, being a great fighter isn't just beating everybody, isn't just getting the decision going your way, but it's like, you know, what did you actually accomplish in your entire career insofar as
Precise.
popularity and all that stuff?
But Precise, didn't he have 3 record sellouts too, in LA, in New York City, and in London?
The guy that doesn't even speak English. You know, it's insane.
It's a hype machine.
You know what
Go
my
ahead,
point
Mr.
was, though?
VA.
I just want to say one. I'm sorry, BD. I just want to say one last thing. Like, and then I'll shut up. Like, let's consider the bias, and I'm not charging anybody on the panel with this. But if we look at what people are thinking, what they're saying out there, people are actually saying that he lost the first Canelo fight.
Nah.
Even if we don't want to give him credit for the win because he didn't, people already forgot that was actually a draw. You know what I mean? That's like the bias against this guy is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, I want to piggyback off of that because look, we talk about, well, he never fought anybody. But if you look at what, again, I got to reiterate, if you look at what happened in the ring in the first Canelo fight, he got the better of Canelo. Nobody has, I mean, you have to go back to Mayweather to find somebody that clearly did that to Canelo. And clearly this was a better Canelo. The 2017 version of Canelo was better than the 2013. Nobody can disagree with that. And it reminds me of Bernard Hopkins. When he was about to fight Trinidad, the main argument against Hopkins' victory was, well, he never fought anybody. He never beat anybody. When he went in there, he showed you he was better than Trinidad. And Triple G, although he didn't stop Canelo, it was the culmination of his career. Everybody was always doubting him, saying, well, he's never beaten anybody. Well, look what he did when he finally did. He got shafted. I mean, doesn't that prove that? Isn't that enough to show you that Triple G is or was at some point the best middleweight in the world?
Okay. No one is doubting for 1 minute that Golovkin wasn't the best in the world for a few years.
Nobody.
But, you know,
I didn't say he wasn't.
No, we're not doubting that at all. We're just saying, I mean, look, you got both sides of the argument when you're talking boxing. I'm for the sake of the show, and I'm trying to play the devil's advocate here a little bit, I suppose. So is D. But when we break this resume down, and some of the performances as well, you know, there's things to criticise. That Golovkin's just not a perfect fighter. Let's get that straight. He's a very tough guy and a very good fighter, and he won the Canelo first fight. He did. A Canelo just moving up in weight. You got to break that. You know, so I forget that as well. It's probably one of his first fights at middleweight as well. So. Look,
he's an aging fighter. He's an aging fighter and father time waits on nobody.
That's what I have to talk about now. When we're putting him in with Charlo and that lot and Canelo again, I have to go by what he's like today. I can't go back and take it back to when he was at his peak. Because when he fought Martin Murray and around them guys, he was probably unstoppable. Do you know what I mean? Around them.
So give him credit. So let's give him credit for that.
Fighters of all time.
Let's give him credit for that. Stu just said it. He was unstoppable. Now some people were saying, well, he was fighting bums. Okay, so who I can't even say it. Who didn't he fight, basically, that he should have fought?
Look, I don't know. None of us know the ins and outs. None of us know the ins and outs why these fights didn't happen. We do know some fighters ducked them. Some fighters made it clear they're ducking them. So we know that. But look, there's time. I mean, are you telling me he couldn't get a better guy than Steve Rolls in there?
Hell,
but you're nitpicking, Stu. You're nitpicking.
Every fighter fights, and he wasn't even that tough. Steve Rolls
he's at the time of his career now, Precise, where he can't be wasting camps on Steve Rolls.
Hold on. He was coming off a loss to Canelo, tough fight, and this was his debut on an untested new network and that whole deal. And the guy was undefeated. Like, look, Steve Rolls could get in the ring with another top 10 middleweight. And he might have beaten him. We don't know. So it's easy to say he was.
Mark Erosion, bro. Mark Erosion.
I give him credit for that fight. Yeah, he destroyed him in what? 2 rounds?
I know you mentioned Charlo. But that Charlo Mark Erosion fight was many years ago.
I give Golovkin. Can I answer?
One at a time.
I give Golovkin credit for the Martin Erosion fight. I don't care if anybody else doesn't want to. That's fine. I give him credit, and you can't change my mind about that. Now, insofar, I give him credit for the Kell Brook win. There have been guys moving up 2 divisions and winning. and he completely and utterly destroyed the guy. Kell Brook was undefeated. He was arguably, he didn't prove it, but arguably he was the best. He was the best welterweight at the time, and nobody to this day has defeated Sean Porter as convincingly as Kell Brook did. That version of Kell Brook did, and that was a healthy. That was a healthy. Well, hold on. That was a healthy, strong Kell Brook at a good weight for him, healthy weight for him. And Golovkin was already past his prime, did it in his backyard, destroyed the guy, and got nothing but criticism. I'm not saying it was his best win, but like, let's be honest. Let's look at who Tank has fought his entire career and how much credit that guy is getting.
Yeah,
look at who he's fighting now.
I think Golovkin that night. I think Golovkin that night got hit far too much, and that's why people were criticizing.
Whatever.
Yeah,
Like one round. Look at Devin Haney. Look at Devin Haney fighting a 38-year-old fucking Gamboa. That's a disgrace.
Yeah,
That's
I
a
agree with that
complete
one.
and utter disgrace.
I agree with that.
But he's gonna get credit. He's gonna get credit. People are going to be talking about Devin Haney on the pound for pound list after that fight.
Okay, let D talk, because he wanted to say something for a couple of seconds. Let D talk.
In 2011, I can't even remember the guy's name. One of y'all will probably remember it. But in 2011, at the stage of GGG's career, would y'all consider him in his prime?
And he fought Rubio, the Mexican dude?
No, Gonzalo. Would you consider him in his prime?
Yes, of course. 2011, yes, sir.
Would you consider him in his prime at that time?
Yes, sir.
Once again, you're judging it by numbers. This is not basketball. This is boxing, bro.
You don't know what I'm judging it by because you didn't let me. I asked you, do you consider him in his
sir.
prime?
Of course.
No, I don't know. What did he fight? Give me more. Who did he fight in 2011?
Okay.
That's 10 years ago. He was 28, 29.
I consider him prime. I do.
Let's say yes, D. Let's say yes.
Now, I don't remember the guy's name, but it was some fucking Ugandan fighter. They took him 12, and it was a close
Kasim Uma.
There it is, Uma. In his fucking prime, took him 10 rounds out of 12. And if you look at the scores back then, it wasn't a wide fight. Now, this was GGG in his fucking prime, a domestic fucking fighter in Usman.
So he had the longest KO streak, and you're gonna nitpick and pick the fight where he went like the
Why are you picking this?
Guys, hold on. Kasim Uma, okay, he was past his prime in that fight, but if I remember correctly, he'd gone, I think, 10 the distance against Marty Rosen and gotten shafted in that one, so he wasn't completely shot when he could do that to a young fighter. Second of all, did you remember Uma was one of the toughest fighters? Like, the guy was a child soldier. Boxing was nothing to the guy.
Yeah, and he also came up from 150
Hold on. Let
BDA
Yeah, hold on. And okay, he went. Then he fought Coffee John Tua one time, who was a murderous puncher, and he threw Coffee John Tua's bombs like they were nothing. He went in there against Golovkin. Okay, you want to say the fight was close? I don't remember. I'd have to rewatch it. But one thing I do remember, his fucking eyes were shut. The guy looked like an Asian in there. He caught a beating in there. There's no shame in going 11 rounds with Kasim Uma, man. Come on.
Hey, remember when Coffee John Tua knocked out fucking Veneno Rubio BDA?
Yeah, I remember that one.
And essentially,
he ended
his career.
After.
Hold on, precise. 1 second.
Yeah. Go ahead.
The Kasim Uma fight, he ended his career. Triple G fucked his world up. It's like, I don't know what point. Look,
his career been over before.
Yeah, okay, but he gave him brain damage at the end.
Fucking over when he fought him. Come on. With
But it's one fight.
Okay,
Did this happen? I got a question. Did this happen consistently though? At that age, did that happen consistently where he was struggling with Kasim Umas of the world?
He wasn't.
Or was it the one time?
But hold on. You guys are missing the point. Can I speak, please? Look, I'm sorry for interrupting, but look, the Kasim Uma fight, if I'm not mistaken, took place in Panama. Okay.
Panama. Yes.
Hold on. Sorry. Look. His visa was fucked up. He landed in Panama 3 hours before the fucking fight. The dude didn't have time to shave. Like, they were stressed out. They didn't know what the fuck was. He didn't get a chance to acclimate. It's not like Bernard Hopkins going to Quito and acclimating and losing to a fucking Ecuadorian bum. It wasn't like that. No. They had visa problems, showed up in a foreign country at the airport, 3 hours before the fucking fight. The boy didn't even have time to shave. He went into that fight like he didn't even have time to like do pad work, to work on his timing before the that thing was all fucked up, and he still smashed him and destroyed him. I mean, come on, man.
Anybody knows anything about
We're talking about the same Teofimo that fought Jermaine Taylor back in 2006.
Yeah, it's the same one.
I gotta defend Bernard Hopkins on that one afterwards. All right, I don't want to get away.
Segundo Mercado when he fought Segundo Mercado.
Yeah, I gotta defend Bernard
Hey
Hopkins.
guys, let's be fair. Let's be fair, because Troy, Troy wants to say something. So let's, can you hear me?
Let BDA finish, man. BDA was going to say something.
Kassim Umar lost 5 out of his last 7 fights before he stepped in there with GGG, and that's a fucking fact. He lost 5 out of fucking 7, and then he stepped in there with this prime GGG.
Kassim Umar got knocked out. You criticizing a guy for knocking out a guy?
I'm not criticizing anything. I say he lost 5 of his 7 fucking fights before stepping in there with a prime.
Against
GGG.
who?
And GGG knocked him out. And GGG knocked him out.
Triple G knocked him out. So what's the criticism?
He was supposed to, was he not?
Well, that's
Nobody
fine.
else knocked him out. Nobody else knocked him out. And
Dude, fucking Mayweather was beating guys by landing them by 1 punch or 2 in some rounds. And you want to criticize the guy that gets the knockout?
Knockout his skills.
Yeah, but we got.
This is the bias I'm talking about, man.
If we're talking about an all-time great middleweight, Mark Rosen shouldn't even be in the fucking talk. Man. He shouldn't even be in there.
We're nitpicking fight. Like, come on, we're not gonna end.
He's a good fighter, Stu. He's a good fighter.
Stu, come on, let's cut the bullshit out, Stu. You're high on Canelo, and that's cool. I think Canelo's a fraud and a hype job, and he fights a whole bunch of fixed fights. My opinion.
Yeah, but I respect your. I respect your opinion on that. I never question your opinion when you say that. But you do me when I do Canelo.
But let me finish. If you're gonna criticize Golovkin for someone like Martirosyan, then how does Canelo get away fighting all them bums, man? Like, I just don't get that.
When Canelo fights a bum, I'm first to say it. Canelo has a far better resume than.
But the point is, everybody fights bums.
Nobody's scared to fight Canelo. Nobody's afraid to fight Canelo.
True, Matthew had.
I mean, there's people want to fight him.
That's only because they want money. He's the money bag. That's
yeah. He's the money guy, but they still want to fight him. They still want to get in the ring.
Nobody wanted to fight.
That's not an argument. That's not an argument for how good or bad he is. It's not an argument. It's not even an argument. People want to fight him because of the money. Yeah, okay, and the sky is blue. But the point of see, you're countering someone's argument that. Look, like the argument. Let me finish, please. Hold on, let me finish.
Come on with that shit, bro.
See, the argument was, but hold on, you're not even following the argument. Like, let's be adults and let's try to make sense. The argument was that Canelo, everybody wants to fight him. It doesn't matter why. The fact remains that Canelo can cherry pick a style that suits him at a time that, like, everybody wants to fight him. Triple G, as soon as somebody raises their hand and says, I'll fight you, Triple G better jump on that or the opportunity will be missed. So the guys, if anybody is willing to fight Canelo has a huge pool of potential opponents that suit him to choose from. If the person that will actually decide to fight Triple G because, there's less money or whatever, is less likely to lie down and is more likely to come to fight, because the reason why they even want to go up against him is because they believe they can beat him. But why the people that want to fight Canelo, anybody will fight Canelo because he's paying them money, and they'll lie down because he's paying them money. So if you're saying that people are wanting to fight Canelo because he's a big payment, you're actually detracting from Canelo's resume, not Triple G's. It doesn't make any sense.
I'm detracting from it then. So the fuck what?
Okay, what's the point?
Well, let's debate.
Okay, so you're detracting from it. So your argument is null and void. That's basically it.
Exactly. That's the point.
So by your own admission, your argument means nothing.
My argument means everything, because you at the same breath we sit here and say, well, nobody wanted to fight GGG. Now I don't give a fuck why, because of politics or whatever. They didn't want to fight him. Still, the fact is, did he fight those guys?
Hey, Charlo can fight him now for the unification. He's still champion. It's not
That's a good point.
If I may interject, so what I'm hearing then is from both sides here is, because I'm in the middle. I think Triple G was good, very good. I don't think he's one of, he easily beats Hopkins and Monzon and all that. I'm not saying anybody here said that, but I'm saying that's what I've heard. So we got sides, people who say he's overrated, other people who say he's underrated. My point is, from what I'm hearing from D, is he didn't fight anybody of note. Now, I mentioned Macklin and Murray, and people shit on him. Okay. At the end of the day, Triple G, whoever he fought, he did wipe the floor with him. And then when he came in there against Canelo, he showed he was better than the guy that most considered now the pound best in the world. So you gotta give him, based on everything that happened up to the point to that fight, and in hindsight, he is that good because he wiped the floor with guys like Curtis Stevens, David Lemieux, Macklin, Murray, the Australian dude. What was his name again? Gill. I mean, come on. This guy was mopping the floor with him. So we gotta give him credit also based on what we saw against Canelo, that he fought the best.
That was a Daniel Gill. Come on, man.
Hold on. We gotta give. But see, you're doing the same thing. You're doing, well, these guys were bad. Okay, and guess what he did? He mopped the floor with them. If he would have struggled with them like Felix Sturm did, then okay, I might understand the point.
Yeah, Golovkin's a lot better than Sturm. Come on.
But that's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying he was good, but let's not. And also, precise, you said that you thought Canelo was a fraud, but then you can. I mean, how much credit are you going to give him then for being better than Canelo? You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's like you can call one.
No. Well, I can answer. Any question you toss at me, I can answer. So if you want me to, you let me know.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that I want you to clarify that, because I mean we can't shit on Canelo, and then I mean how much credit?
Well, Canelo is a fraud because Sergey threw that fight again. That's to me, that's obvious. He threw that fight. That's like I'm not even. This is not even debatable to me. So to but because of that fight, he got put on as the pound for pound #1 guy in the world. Well, that means that's illegitimate. In my eyes, that's illegitimate. So that makes him a fraud. Now, to say that the guy is a fraud doesn't mean that he sucks completely. He's just not good enough to convincingly beat someone like Lara, for example. That's the level of Canelo. He's not good enough to hurt Miguel Cotto that Manny Pacquiao knocked out. That's the level of Canelo in a real fight. That's what Canelo.
Yeah, but you have to go back. You have
to
go back years.
But
Precise. I know. Precise. No, you understand boxing.
I don't.
Yeah, but come on.
You gotta let me finish.
Let people counter argument.
All right, let Precise and then Stu goes. Then Stu goes. Go ahead, Precise.
I think the Canelo and Triple G, the two fights that those two guys had, took a lot out of both of them. I think Canelo is a shot fighter. Okay, you heard it here first. I've been saying it forever. Canelo is a shot fighter, and I think Canelo is a fraud. Now, Canelo was a good fighter, and he's still a good fighter, don't get me wrong, but come on, man. He got clearly beaten by a past prime 36 or so year old Triple G when he was rated up and had loaded gloves on. But like people don't want to talk about that shit. Now we put a 31-year-old, 29-year-old Golovkin in the ring with, let's say, 30-year-old Canelo. I mean, it's completely another mismatch. Like it's not even funny, in my opinion. So to me, the reason why Canelo was competitive in both fights and won the second fight, in my opinion, is because he cheated, and Triple G was way past his prime already. All time greats. You look at any all-time great, and if he didn't get knocked out or badly beaten by the age of 35, I mean, he truly was special, because most of them did. Golovkin has not. So
I like the way Precise had to go back all them years to drag Lara up, and to say that Canelo Alvarez is a shot fighter. I mean, I know Precise knows his boxing. He can't kid me. Whatever game he's playing right now, he can't kid me. I know he knows. I know he sees talent in Canelo. He's not stupid. But I think he's got hatred for this guy. And I think he's talking for emotion. Well, I'm not... Look, that's just my opinion, right? Because I know you cannot look at Canelo Alvarez and tell me he's a shot fighter. I just don't know where you're coming from with that one. Look, I had Golovkin winning the first one. I can't lie. I say how it is. But in the second fight, I just thought Canelo Alvarez made a mess of him. And I think in the third fight, it'll be even worse. Look, Golovkin, to compete at that age, you're right. To compete with the best at that sort of age proves how good he is. But you got to break. Canelo Alvarez was coming up from 154, just growing into the weight. He's a lot better fighter now than he was then. So I just... That'd be my opinion. I get where Precise is coming from in certain things, but this is certain things I can't.
The only problem I have with that statement.
Hold on. Let me just defend myself. I'm sorry. To attack somebody personally, and I'm not offended at all, but to attack somebody personally is not an argument, first and foremost. Secondly, I don't I don't have to like a fighter or dislike a fighter to tell you what I think about the fighter. In my opinion, and if BDA ever feels like it, and we want to look at like old Canelo, and then we want to look at Canelo in his last fight, and you want to tell me what improvements he's made, we could totally do that. I'll tell you what I'm seeing, and we could have that conversation. For me, Canelo, those two fights with Golovkin took a lot of both of them, and I see Canelo as, to say he's shot. Yeah, it's hyperbole. I'm exaggerating, but I mean, put that guy in a real fight. Come on, man, it's boxing. It's how we talk.
Maybe he did lose
Put
something.
that guy in a real fight.
You're making a lot of accusations about loaded gloves and Kovalev.
No. This is no. Hold on. That's my opinion. Anybody can have an opinion, okay?
It's still an accusation. It's your opinion.
But hold on, hold on. The loaded gloves is not an accusation. That's been proven by multiple fighters.
That's not been proven.
In multiple fights.
Come on.
It has. It's the exact same thing that to this day people blame Trinidad for and call him a cheater. To this day, it's the exact same thing. The only difference is that Vegas allows it, and you have to shut up if you want your points heard, because you broke up. I couldn't understand anything that you said. So if you want to repeat something you had to say to me and try to make it succinct, so I could, and then give me
the short yellow bus. That's a personal attack. What the fuck, man?
Okay, so the point I was making, and this is the last time I'm going to repeat myself. If you don't want to understand it, that's fine. The point I was making is that Stu can say whatever the hell he wants to say about me personally. It slides right off of me. That's what I said, okay? So I don't see how you see hypocrisy in that. But the reason why I brought it up is to say that that's not actually an argument against what I'm saying. Like you could go there if you want to, but you're not actually making a valid boxing argument. But I don't have a let me finish. No. I don't have a problem. Just as I don't have a problem with you talking, all kinds of smack about me that you never say to me in person. But it's all good, man, because I'm not like butthurt or anything, nor am I upset about the fact that you called me a bunch of names. Then have at it. I don't care. My only point is that none of that constitutes a boxing argument. Okay, and if you don't understand that, then I'm not worried about it. But
here's one thing for sure, two things for certain. It was you that made a bunch of attacks about me, sir. I never put a video up about you. I came and liked the video because I thought it was funny, and I didn't make personal attacks on you until now.
Okay, can I say something?
Kumite, all right, let's get some personal
something. Hold on, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, we dropped off for about 7. Butcher, how much was it?
I don't know, but we're back. We're back.
Yeah, but okay, I missed 7 minutes. People in the YouTube missed about 7 minutes. I don't know what happened between you two guys. The last thing I heard was Jimmy asking Precise to clarify about the hand wraps. But now I'm hearing apparently they were like, it got heated, which is, it's a kumite. That's what happens in the kumite. It's supposed to happen.
That's what happens. He heats up.
The stacking is tape upon tape upon tape. That's the stacking.
Yeah, that's the thing. Because Precise said loaded hand wraps, but we gotta clarify that. I think I don't know if I'm pretty sure Precise did clarify, but I missed it. And people in the YouTube.
Can I make my closing argument about Triple G?
Can we smoke the peace
pipe?
I just know I never got to give my closing argument about.
I'll smoke mine.
All right.
I'll smoke. I'll make it quick. Can I go? Okay. So Triple G, to me, beat a lot of fighters, in my opinion, better than most guys did. And I'm talking about Martin Murray.
Talking about Canelo's.
Hold on. Can you let me fucking finish? And
there was a loop. Go ahead. Nobody was talking.
No, I'm sorry. I thought somebody was.
No, it was feedback. Go ahead.
All right. So I think that he beat a lot of fighters better than common opponents that other guys had. I think he beat them a lot better. I think that's a sign. That's also a sign of a great fighter. People want to bring up Consiuma. Okay, that was a tough fight. I mean, Marvin Hagler, who's considered one of the greatest middleweights, lost to a guy who was just like a fringe contender, and Willie Monroe. That's a fact. He lost, and he came back and he avenged those. But it doesn't change the fact that he lost to kind of like these fringe contenders early in his career.
again, remember that a lot of guys did not want to fight. I remember. I don't care about what you guys think. A lot of guys did not want to fight him. That's a fact. Canelo gave up his belt. Anyway, if this is the way I look at it, you could look at it the way you want. If Golovkin was the A side and all these fights had to happen in Germany or Kazakhstan, the reason why I bring up Germany because he was thinking about fighting there primarily. He fucking kills these dudes. Okay, he takes Triple G, he takes Canelo, and he makes him a one-hit wonder. Okay, he takes.
Can I make a closing argument on Triple G?
No,
Hold on,
after.
wait, real quick.
Yeah.
I just want to finish this real quick. He was on the road. The politics were against him. This is my opinion. I don't care what D thinks. I don't care what anybody else thinks.
You care.
I'm talking about what I can take into consideration. The politics were against him, okay? And so, therefore, he thrived. He passed. Nobody hasn't beat his ass. He's a 39-year-old fighter. And if you beat him now, Triple G is way past his prime. Therefore, he's one of the greats of all time.
Yeah. Good points, recognized. Good points. Can I mention something?
Yes.
To piggyback off what you're saying?
Go ahead.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Who? I haven't seen anybody shit on a guy that's got a title as much as they do Golovkin because Golovkin is still champion. Do people see Manny Pacquiao? Does he get the criticism that Golovkin's getting? Because Pacquiao is like 40-41 and he's a champion and he gets praised. Now we're going to say, well, Pacquiao had a different career than Golovkin. Yes, Pacquiao jumped 8 divisions and he did a record with that. But Golovkin, he held the title for like 20-some title defenses and he also did a record with that. And they're both champions, but Golovkin is getting shitted on like, I don't know, like he's doing something wrong while he is still champion. Okay? So that's one thing. Golovkin still got a belt and he's still relevant. His career's not over.
For real?
Well, Gonzalo,
let me get my closer. I'm doing my closer now.
Yeah, Revolucion. Go ahead, quickly.
Because you know what? The way I see it, we talk about Golovkin so goddamn much on this show. Let's have this be the funeral to the Golovkin debate. All right? Until he fights again. Let's try really hard to think of other shit. So everybody say your last thing. This is the eulogy. What I'm saying is Golovkin, his streak of knockouts gets shitted on. People talk, and it's kind of two arguments. It was people who look at the resume and people who look at the pure entertainment value. And for me, I don't know why you guys watch boxing. I watch it because it's entertainment. And I know there's a lot of statistics and theory behind it and shit you could debate, but if you don't fucking put on exciting fights, I don't give a fuck about you. Really. So say what you want about the resume. Golovkin's one of my favorite fighters.
Let's kill this
debate.
debate.
Can I give my?
He chops him
Can
up.
I give my eulogy? Sorry.
Right after me. I'm almost done. The same way.
I'm sorry, dude.
It's all good. The same way fucking Lomachenko is up there for me. All these guys, it has nothing to do with race. It's about what you do in a fucking ring. And that's why, honestly, Emmanuel Augustus is my favorite fighter. Because his fights is just so, he's just so crazy.
The drunken master.
I just love watching it. So there you go.
All right, next.
Can I, all right, well, my thing is this, right? I always like to look at the psychology of fighters, the things they say. It's not always what camp says, it's what comes out of their mouth. Now, right? Picture back 2016, I believe it was. Now, picture the fear, the psychological fear Triple G was putting on other middleweights for Billy Joe Saunders. All right, I don't care what anybody says. A respected fighter, kid's got talent. Was sitting at a press conference with Eubanks to his right. Somebody brought up the name Triple G. Eubanks went to talk smack, and Saunders said, all right, come on, stop. Triple G would beat you and me on the same night. Let's cut this shit.
Not me.
Imagine world champion fighters saying that in front of the press. A month later.
Fucking idiot.
A month later.
Say what you want about him, Stu. He still
let
said
Jimmy finish. Let him finish his eulogy.
Go ahead, Jimmy.
A month later, Frotch said on camera, talking to the British guy, and actually Stu turned me on to this. He's the one to mention. I went and looked it up after he said it. But Frotch said, and he said, what about Triple G? Triple G? Are you kidding me? You don't fight Triple G. You swerve him. He's a monster. All right. So again, that was the mindset then. The only person calling him out was a guy from a fucking a weight class above. Everybody was avoiding him. Cotto was the world champion. I don't care that he didn't belong there. He held the belt. When it was time that Triple G was the number one contender, he said, "Here I am, boys. Let's do it." Cotto said, "I'm going to get my checkbook. Here you go. Here's $500,000. Nice meeting you, Mr. Kazakhstan." The kid was selling out Los Angeles records time, selling out Madison Square Garden record time. Kid was knocking out everybody they put in front of him. Yes, at the end, things have not gone the way I wanted, and I agree with Stu and a lot of shit he's saying, but I'm just saying, taking it as a whole, looking at the shit people, other pro fighters said, not just fucking donkeys hide behind a fucking screen on Twitter, but real fighters are saying in front of press, no, you don't fight him, you swerve him. So at his prime, he was a monster, and nobody wanted anything to do with him. What fighter today is anybody saying that about?
Mr. Kazakhstan.
That's right, Jimmy.
Casa KO King.
Everybody wants to fight Canelo. Everybody wants to fight Canelo. Just
Shit, I'll fight Canelo right now.
All right, hold on. Eulogies, guys. Let me get my piece of it. Here it is. First and foremost, I said this, and you can rewind the goddamn live. I said that my stance was this. You got a lot of people, GG fans, that are totally ridiculous. He's better than Hagler and all of this other dumb shit we heard, okay? But then you have a lot of people who don't give him enough credit. I said that there is, on the opposite end of the spectrums, people take it too far with GGG. I'm with Stu or whoever said it. As soon as you say something about GGG, everybody starts to launch the attack. Whether what you're saying is logical or not, they just start to launch the attack like you're discrediting him, like you're saying something about him, and it's just simply not that. That's not even the angle that I was coming at. But I'm not going to sit here and praise a guy for the same thing that we knock a lot of other guys down for. That's my whole point, because we do
even if guys are ducking him.
Hold on.
There it is. There it is. Hold the fuck up now. I'm just saying. But don't like to hear any negative about GGG that's on the GGG team. They don't like to hear it. They start throwing up Charlos and all of these people. I'm talking about GGG. And if we're going to talk about...
He's the champion still. He's the champion.
Gonzalo, man. Come on. During your eulogy, fam. Let me finish. We're going to sit here and talk about GGG and all the guys that were terrified of him. I agree. On the same token, didn't GGG... Caleb Plant, BJ Saunders, all of these Charlo, all of these people turned down Canelo because they couldn't get enough of a payday to take that risk. To me, that's just as fucking scary, because if you're this fucking champion, if you're this fucking guy, the best guy, why are you trying to get enough of a payday because you might fucking lose? And that's what I'm seeing with Canelo. Yeah, everybody wants to fight him, but they want enough money just in case they take that loss. See, so it's the same pussy shit, just in a different manner. If you ask me, it's the same type of pussy shit, bro.
Who's next? I want to say something too. My turn about this whole Golovkin thing.
Well, Pucho, you're the host, so you gotta go last, man. I wanted to mention
you out.
Triple G's fans, man, they're very passionate. And it's true. It's when he gets criticized, a lot of people jump up to defend him. Now I can understand why, and it's always been this way with fighters that are good and that they don't get their credit. There's a lot of their fans point the fingers towards a lot of people, and they get it's frustrated that this guy's good, he's not getting the credit. It happens every generation. There's always a dark horse that people love, and he doesn't get his credit. With Triple G and Canelo, and everybody's got their fans. Case in point, when I was making videos, film studies for the Canelo Triple G fight, the first one, I would make a video praising Canelo's defense. And what would I get? A bunch of Kazakhs and Triple G fans saying, "No, his defense is not that good," or "He doesn't hit hard enough. He's not gonna stop Triple G." Then when I would make a Triple G video praising his jab and his control of distance and all that, I would get Canelo fans saying, "He's slow. He's a robot, blah, blah, blah." So my point, which is obviously you guys already know what it is, everybody can criticize everybody else. Now, Triple G, I understand he was very entertaining, and that's why people defend him. But he was a very good fighter that didn't get some of the fights he wanted. We can nitpick his resume. Guess what? We can do it with anybody. We can go to Sugar Ray Leonard and go, well, he was losing the Tommy Hearns fight and he didn't really beat Hagler. You know, you can do it to anybody. But at the end of the day, you judge based on what the person accomplished and how he looked in the ring. And my final thing about this is, with Triple G, I don't think he's God. I don't think he easily beats Hagler, Hearns, fucking Hopkins, by the way. I got to go back to the Hopkins fight thing later on because he got shafted a little bit in Ecuador himself. Fucking soldiers that were bursting into his dressing room 5 minutes before the fight. It was a whole shenanigan over there. But the point is, Triple G did fight a lot of great contenders, mopped the floor with them, and when he finally fought Canelo, he should have gotten the decision in the first fight.
Agreed.
But see, BDA, that's just the point. The thing that you're saying that happened to Bernard Hopkins in Ecuador, I've never heard of this, but I completely believe you because that's the type of shit that happens anytime you go to fight in a foreign fighter's country, which is why a guy that goes into somebody else's country and accomplishes something there, which is why that's that much more respectable because you're always dealing with shenanigans. The only thing about Bernard Hopkins is that he always cries foul, so maybe we heard about it, whereas someone like Golovkin might keep his mouth shut and just go about his business. Bernard Hopkins was always a little bit of a bitch. No offense, great fighter. What he did at 160 is very, very much respectable, even though he fought his biggest names are welterweights, right? But hey, let's not talk about that. Now, what I've heard, what I keep hearing a lot is, you know, this guy's fan said this, and that guy's fan said that, and it made my pussy bleed, and, you know, okay, that's fine. That's all good. None of those arguments could be levied against somebody who makes logical arguments and is trying to keep it boxing. Now, just because somebody wants to jump down my throat and I check them, and I was very, very clear that I did not want to do this on the BDA show, and I'm glad we went off the air for the time being. That's a whole nother issue. The only point I'm trying to make here is that a lot of people attack other fans of a fighter, and that's not a legitimate argument against how great the fighter is. But they'll do that. They'll say, "Oh, this guy's got crazy fighters, crazy fans saying all these crazy, ridiculous things about that guy." So that's what I'm rebelling against. Well, whatever. That has nothing to do with boxing. I look at the guy's resume, who he fought, how good I believe he is. If people disagree, that's all good. I'm not gonna like say that they're emotional or anything like that because I feel that would detract from my argument. I concentrate on what they do in the ring. I look at the resumes. I study the fights. I got my own opinion. If you don't agree, it's all good. I don't care.
All right. Who's next? Stu.
Me. I'm next.
You already said something, man. All right, let me just say something quickly.
Go ahead, Gonzalo.
No, let me just say something about the Golovkin is a hot topic, controversial for some reason. It's true what Dee said. You know, sometimes you mention Golovkin and all these people are jumping in trying to defend him. But it also when you mention Golovkin,
it's true what Dee says. It's true what Dee says.
Hold on, can I finish, man?
Like...
Hey, recognize. Let me just finish, man. Also, when
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, something with the mic. When you also talk about Golovkin, there's also people jumping in trying to shit on his fucking record, right? I think it goes both ways. So
yes,
and I think Dee mentioned that.
You see, the reason why I jumped on Dee, I felt like he was shitting on him. So therefore, as a fan, I am a fan. Like you could criticize him and say, I don't think he's better than Hagler. I don't think he's better than Bernard Hopkins, stuff like that. But when I perceive that you're shitting on him, then I'm going to say, look, I think what you're saying is just nonsense. It's not based on any facts or anything like that.
Yeah, well, that's where you must have missed my earlier statement when I said people take it too far with the praise and people take it too far with the criticism.
Yeah, listen, Triple G could be beaten. Triple G could be beaten.
That's fine. And I think that's fine, but ultimately, it's just an opinion. Like, if somebody says that he would destroy Hagler, now, whenever that fight got mentioned, I picked Golovkin, but I always said it would be a very difficult fight and basically a 50-50 fight. But if I got to pick somebody, I'm going to pick Golovkin because he did not lose to a welterweight at the age of 32. Now, when somebody says that he would destroy Hagler, I mean, so what? The people say all kinds of crazy shit. What does that have to do with anything that like grown men talk about when it comes to boxing? Like, let that one go. It obviously that's a crazy, out of this world opinion. Like, if even addressing it, you're giving legitimacy to crazy talk. And just because you disagree with that, you don't have any proof that that's actually wrong. I agree with you. That is a ridiculous thing to say, but you don't actually have any evidence to the contrary. I mean, it's just ultimately it's just an opinion. You could say Hagler destroys him, and I would say that's ridiculous, but it's just your opinion. Who cares? No,
Well,
either way, nobody could prove their point. Go ahead.
To that point, yeah, it's true. I wanted to add something to what Precise said before too about how people, they get into arguments over what other people said, what fans say. For example, recently with Lomachenko, the main criticism that I get from some people is that, he's overhyped or he's this and he's that. I'm thinking, well, that's not Lomachenko's problem. I mean, that's blame Top Rank for doing their job and hyping this guy up. That's what they're supposed to do. But they attach that to Lomachenko, or when people say, oh, well, some people say Lomachenko's the next or better than Ali, blah, blah. And like, okay, but take it up with those guys then. I mean, I don't know. They bring those points up to discredit Lomachenko somehow. Nobody ever said Lomachenko was the next Ali, whatever. Or other people say take it up with them. With Triple G, it's true. I mean, it's somebody says, oh, he could have beaten Hagler, whatever. Let's stick to what we did today, which was let's look at the resume, let's look at the performances. And I think it's pretty clear that he had a good resume. Now, if you want to nitpick every single win, it starts to look a little suspicious because whether those guys were bumps or not, he still fucking knocked them out easy and better than everybody else did. So with Triple G, look.
That Rubio destruction was unbelievable.
Yes.
Right. But like I said earlier, that the reason why a lot of people defend the guy is because he was entertaining. And for some reason, there's a lot of chivalrous boxing fans out there that feel they have to defend a guy who's been besmirched or who didn't get enough credit in the media. But at the end of the day, Triple G, I'm sure he's pretty happy with his own career, the money he made. He did fight on HBO a whole bunch of times, so that's like a mil per fight or at least. So I don't think he's got many things to complain about.
Yeah, but when
it comes to the pound for pound list, and people saying that Lomachenko isn't the number one pound for pound fighter in the world, they're just being dishonest. Okay, let's just keep it real. You're just being dishonest, or you don't know shit about boxing, or your pound for pound list isn't actually a pound for pound list. But it's and I stand by this. Look, because to take an honest look at what Lomachenko is doing, if you want to compare Terence Crawford to Lomachenko, I don't give a shit about how many 135 pounders he fought or how many undersized guys at 140 pounds he beat. That was his 147 is Terence Crawford's natural division. By comparison, Lomachenko's natural division is 130, let's say, and I feel like I'm being generous here. So if you want to compare Terence Crawford to Lomachenko, if you're telling me he's better than Lomachenko on the pound for pound list, what you're actually saying, the way pound for pound has worked traditionally and forever, what you're saying is that Terence Crawford could move up to 154 pounds right now and grab in multiple fights, not just one fight, grab up at least 3 out of the 4 belts. That's what you're saying. So for anybody who says that Terence Crawford is better than Lomachenko on the pound for pound list, you're literally committing to that. And unless you could commit to that as that is what you believe, you're being dishonest.
Yeah, and before we get into that, the pound for pound thing, can I just say
subjective because everyone has their own criteria. Julius Ring IQ laid out a certain criteria. Mark lays out a certain criteria. Hardline laid out a certain criteria. And all of those guys have different criteria. All of those guys fucking know boxing. They all have different pound for pound leaders based on their criteria. That's why it's so subjective. Now, if you take your criteria, whoever it may be, and you apply that, then you can call someone else's pound for pound list crazy. But if it's not based on the criteria that they have, you can't.
Can I say
that doesn't make any sense? That doesn't make any sense because my criteria could be like the color of their shorts. Well, that's my criteria. No, my criteria is pound for pound criteria. It has nothing to do. Whatever, man. I'm gonna shut up. Go ahead, Jimmy. Go ahead.
You explained it. Like
I was just gonna. I was just gonna say to Lomachenko. I was gonna say to Lomachenko's. To his defense, the reason why I don't do pound for pound lists, never have, and you'll never hear me in arguments about Marvin Hagler because I admit I'm biased. I will let my emotions, the reason I won't ever get an argument about Mickey Ward, obviously my emotions will take over. So I will always avoid those because I'll look stupid. But anyways, that's just me. But Lomachenko, regardless of what anybody wants to say, it's what he's doing is historic. No fighter in the history in the 100-year history of this sport has stepped in first 14 fights, fought 13 either current or ex-world champions. Most of them in their prime, making them quit. You know what? I sit there and what I'll do is I'll watch when I've been able to watch 2 Lomachenko fights with Mickey, and I watch his face and his jaws on his chest. And he looks at me and goes, dude, you see what this kid's doing? You see what this kid's doing? It's like the shit he does with his hands. Listen, I think it's something special. And again, this is my opinion. Fucking shit all over it. I'm not saying you have to agree with it. I'm just saying this fucking kid, but objectively, nobody can deny the fact, like Stephen Edwards said, yada, yada, yada. It's all words. The kid has fought 13 world champions, ex or current, in his first 14 fights. No one in the history of boxing has come close to that.
It's always a way to shit on a fighter. I mean, when you mentioned what you just mentioned, Jimmy, about Lomachenko doing all of that in 14 fights, well, he was given all these fights in a silver platter because, he has all these special privileges that other fighters don't have.
You still got to win them, but Joe, you still got to win these fights.
Exactly.
If everyone keeps saying, when people keep saying, "Oh yeah, but he's had it go this way. He's had his way on this thing." He cherry picked his fights. They've still got to beat these guys. And look, 13 world champions, right, in 14 fights speaks for itself. I mean, if that doesn't get you on a pound for pound top 3, then nothing will.
It's amazing in itself because you got a lot of fighters that are in the Hall of Fame. They didn't even beat fucking 13 champions in their whole goddamn career. Into boxing, and then these idiots out here still want to challenge what he is to boxing. See, that's something you never hear me say. Like, yeah, I might think that Teofimo will knock him out, but that's just a knockout. And I've also said plenty of times, even on the show, if that kid don't find that fucking knockout by 7 or 8, he's in deep fucking shit.
Yeah, he is. I said that myself. Deep waters.
Well, listen, we're going to be doing a preview show on that.
Yeah.
So we're going to be doing a preview show on that. So we're going to be showing the GIFs. So, in fact, I want to make an announcement here. If anybody's got any a specific time of a particular fight from either Lopez or Lomachenko that you want me to include in the preview that we're going to do, because everybody from the panel is invited, obviously. Tell me so that if you want to point something out, I'll put it on the screen.
Look,
but you can tell
I think when you do a video, bro, I think when you do a video, it's no point doing a video that they go in there and destroy someone. You want a video where you can break down what their weaknesses are and where Teofimo can exploit Loma and vice versa. So I would go for Teofimo's horrible display when he just scraped. But I can't remember the guy's name now. The second, not his last fight. Yes. I'd go for that one for Teofimo, and I'd go for maybe the Linares or Pedraza fight for the Lomachenko. That's what I would do. There's no point putting a video of Lomachenko up where he just walks through someone. I mean,
Well, that's what we've been doing in the past couple of what I call the seminars, which is we show the weaknesses and we show the strengths, but we got to show both. But that's what I'm saying. Whatever clips you guys have, tell me, okay, Lopez, Magdaleno, this minute, this round, and I got the fight. So just tell me, and I'll but I can't do it on the moment.
Yeah.
During the show.
Hey, BDA, you know what's one round that you got to look at? Pay attention to Lomachenko versus Campbell. Remember the round he hurts Lomachenko when he's coming in?
Mm-hmm.
Look at what I want you to do a film study on that round. Look how Lomachenko finishes that round.
Yeah.
Even though he got clipped.
I was going to.
I want people to listen, because I know you and Precise. You guys are really good with this shit. Okay, but I was watching that round, and I don't know.
I can barely hear you.
Hold on, let me finish.
No, I can barely hear you, bro.
I'm a boxing nerd when it comes to technique, bro. He did some shit in there that I don't want to say. I want you to look at it and see if you can spot it out. The way he got out of that mess. Because he got buckled. I mean, I'm not saying he got hurt to the point where he was out of there. He got buckled and he kept fighting because he has these amazing hand skills. He can catch you with shit that even while he's hurt and just get him back into the fight. And
I think that was 7 recognized. I know what round you're talking about. I think that was round 7.
Was it round 7? Remember he catches him?
Yeah, 7. He pushed. He went like back.
Hold on, my man. I'm not moving from here, bro. So stop fucking honking your horn.
Fucking bitch.
You talking to your kids, man?
Recognize,
All right.
no. But recognize sometimes he gets into trouble with people in fucking New York, so he wasn't
Yeah,
talking to
it's
you.
like this is common. I just want to say something about talking shit. Talking about what
Sorry
other
about that,
people
guys.
say. You know what I mean? Because listen, this is why I don't really care what people have to say, but I have to make a show, right? If we want to make it exciting, we want to have debates. So I bring up whatever the LDBC said or these other people say, just to have a fucking conversation, man. But that's it, man. It's a fucking show.
I get that.
Yeah.
I think you guys do a great job.
Can I say something?
I don't lose any
Can I say
sleep. Trust me. I'm more concerned about other stuff.
Well, about D, because I've been on his show a bunch of times, so I don't know if he's not a regular, or he hasn't been a regular for as long as you guys have, so maybe you don't know him as long as I have, but sometimes the way he speaks, he speaks with everybody. He lets everybody on the show, which is the spirit that we've tried on this show as well, which is all opposing viewpoints. Now, sometimes D, he talks a certain way that people might misconstrue what he's saying or his attitude, but trust me, D he'll talk to anybody and everybody, and he don't if he says we're not gonna do that or we're not gonna do this, like it's an expression. He's not telling you.
Right. But that's why I challenge him. That's why I challenge him. I think he's a good sport. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't mean to
I think
insult
that's
him.
a lot of passion. I think it's a lot of passion with D. Sorry, I think it's a lot.
I'm sorry, Jimmy.
God's sake, man.
Like I don't even get a.
Yeah,
I think it's a lot. I think it's a lot.
Stu, let's Stu finish because he's trying to say something. His mic is. Go ahead, Stu.
Chaos. I think it's a lot of it's more to do with passion with D than it is to trying to fail. I think he's so passionate. It's a bit like Italians when they get passionate, they get loud, they start waving their hands, don't they? I think it's a bit like D. I mean, I wouldn't take it too. But look, boxing is like politics to me. Boxing gets people riled up. You can actually fall out with people over boxing, just like politics. I mean,
yeah,
it's one sport where even the best of friends can fall out. I mean, it's
because
it's
violence.
My family used to fight. We used to actually we've got into fist fight over
like the Cotto family,
it's
like
violence.
Miguel Cotto and his uncle.
Hey, I fell out people. I fell out people over boxing. I haven't spoke to them to this day.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm on about people in my hometown that I talked to and they come around my house as well. It was over Floyd Mayweather. This guy was fucking hanging out Floyd Mayweather's ass, and he just made me sick to my stomach the way he used to talk. And I just didn't agree with me. We had a little fallout, and I ain't seen the guy since. But just boxing. It's like politics.
But
that's pathetic.
The reason why I bring that up, the D Jefferson thing, I don't want to talk for him. But what I'm saying is I vouch for the guy, and I vouch for everybody on this panel. You guys wouldn't be on this panel if we didn't think you knew your shit, because that's the thing. We've been more selective in the past 6-7 months, and Stu knows what I'm talking about, with who comes in here and who doesn't, because we only want people that we know we have a good rapport with, and this type of thing, it's the best type of show, because otherwise, if we agree on everything, it gets fucking boring. We have to disagree on stuff. And this Golovkin thing is the perfect one, because it does.
The only one that I see that gets more discredited than Golovkin is Chocolatito. For a guy that's still really champion.
That's not good.
I want to say about D.
Sorry,
there's like a crazy delay, but that's all I wanted to say. Chocolatito
There's a fucking mad delay,
they're
man.
fucking co-main. They're co-main. Him and Golovkin fight on the undercard of each other's fights.
You guys let me know when you're done stroking each other's cocks.
Wait. Don't forget to stroke mine. Hold on. Hurry up.
5 minutes. 5 minutes.
Versace gets uncomfortable with praise, man. Whenever things start to go well, he gets uncomfortable. That's why he's in the fucking
I'm going to do some stroking right now, because I did say earlier I might have come across like a dick about D's channel. I had no idea he had a channel. I should have said that. I shouldn't have said, well, I don't watch a channel. My point, I should have said, I didn't know you had a channel, dude. I only really kind of watch this, and I'm really busy, so I try to catch, I knew Precise had one and Stu's, but, dude, that's the only reason why, dude. Now that I know you have a channel, dude, I will watch your shit, but I just wanted to say that. It wasn't disrespectful, like I don't personally watch your shit. I didn't know you had any.
Oh, no, it's all good, fam. Look, I want to say this. I'm not stroking anyone's fucking cock. I just want to say this about me.
He's getting gay.
I'll cuss you out. I'll do whatever, and I'll love you tomorrow, fam. That's just how I am. So I don't get offended. Like tomorrow we can be buddies and talk again. If you want to be offended, mad over fucking boxing talk, that's you. But just like I said, Precise put a video up fucking ranting about me. I went over there. I liked the video. I told him I thought it was funny, and I'll talk to him again. So I don't.
It wasn't that fun
over this bullshit.
Let's take some LSD. Let's just take some LSD.
I can't wait for the day that.
Yeah, it was fun. I watched it 2 times, D. I thought it was hilarious.
I can't wait for the day that Precise fucking talks about me in one of his videos and shit on my opinion.
No, you're not important.
Opinion that even matters.
Revolution, you're not that important to him.
Exactly.
Oh, come on, man.
Nobody cares about you, Revolution.
It was so fun. I watched it 2 times.
But yo, just like I don't even want to talk about any of that. It's water under the bridge for me. That's why I took it off the BDA, just so I could vent over there, and that's that. And I'm glad D said what he had to say, and dude, I'm not worried about it. Anyway, coming back to boxing now that we're done stroking each other's cocks.
Leave it there.
Got a little bit gay.
Yeah. I'm gonna look. Like it's real easy to cut through the bullshit when it comes to Lomachenko and Terence Crawford, because when Terence Crawford started making noise and got put on the pound-for-pound list, and Lomachenko did at the same time, a lot of people, and I'm not just saying haters, but also legitimate boxing analysts, supposedly mainstream, were talking about Lomachenko fighting Terence Crawford. However, nobody was talking about Terence Crawford fighting Triple G, who was also on the pound-for-pound list at the same time, which should lead anybody who's honest enough to conclude that and I'm not talking about anybody on the show specifically, but that should lead people to conclude that the boxing world thinks Lomachenko is better than Terence Crawford, because whereas we were kind of thinking that this guy could compete with Terence Crawford, nobody thought that Terence Crawford could compete with Triple G, and that would be the equivalent of Lomachenko fighting Terence Crawford. So that in and of itself tells you what people actually think. Whether they actually admit to it or not, well, that's another thing.
That's a good point.
I think Lomachenko, flat out, hands down, is a better boxer than Terence Crawford. And I've argued with these dinglings on my channel about it.
You're breaking up.
Breaking up, bro.
You hear me now?
Yep.
Okay, I said that I think Terence Crawford and Lomachenko, I don't even think it's a fucking comparison at who's the better boxer, period. And I've argued with a lot of idiots on my channel about this. Lomachenko's clearly a better boxer than Terence Crawford. Hands down, flat out. There's no fucking questions in my mind. Terence Crawford is not, and I keep telling people this, he's not the greatest defensive fighter. Neither is Lomachenko, but neither is Terence Crawford. And when you just look at offense to offense, Loma got him beat, hands down, bro. It's no question.
That's because you're a Spence fan, D.
No, it's not.
I agree with what D said.
I know, I'm joking.
People got better footwork. I mean, his punch placement, in my opinion, is better. Terence Crawford gets loose sometimes. He misses. That's how he gets caught. And then he has this idea when he gets hit, he's going to come back and get you back. Lomachenko don't do that. He's smart about the way he comes back. So he's just a better boxer. It's just that.
Sure, I prefer Lomachenko when he sits in the pocket and beats these guys up and bullies them. I prefer him than when he's actually boxing. I do. And there's times when he's been in fights where these guys they're having their moments and hanging in there and nicking rounds. But as soon as Lomachenko steps in the pocket and ups the gears, they fall to pieces. I mean, I don't understand why he don't do it earlier. I mean, there's a time and time again. I mean, he left it really late against Pedraza, didn't he? Left it really late to turn it on to make sure. You know, I think if he just steps in there a little bit earlier, these guys are going to be going a lot earlier.
Do you think he's trying to wait up their strength?
Sorry, bro. Just quickly, to do that with Teofimo, though, would be very dangerous.
No, I was asking you, brother. Do you think he's doing that? You think because he's not taking guys out earlier, like say Pedraza? You think maybe Pedraza came in real good shape, and he's waiting for him to lose some of the sting?
No, he's doing it because he's struggling to get inside with the range. He's giving it too much size, man.
Okay.
These guys
brother.
These guys are much bigger than him.
Holy shit, hey, Stu.
He's 1 minute, Gonzalo. He's just having to get inside to get his work off because obviously the range, and that's when he's getting tagged up sometimes. Go ahead, Gonzalo.
Hey, that fight's in 2 weeks, man. That's on the 17th, man. It's coming up soon.
Yeah, excited for it, mate. Listen, Teofimo can be a superstar if he pulls that one off. I just think it's a bit early for him, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Like I said, Lomachenko, I think the more dangerous the guy Lomachenko's in there with, the better Lomachenko you're going to get.
We're going to have a show for the predictions.
I think Teofimo will be a superstar even if he loses to Lomo, depending on how he loses to Lomo.
Exactly, though. That's the thing. Lomachenko snatches souls, and like I said, when he beats people,
right.
He could end up like he could end up like, we keep saying this. He could end up like Fernando Vargas.
Yeah, when Lomachenko beats people up, then they are mentally shot to pieces after that. They go into hibernation, don't they? I mean, where's Nicholas Waltz? Anyone seen him?
He's never fought again, brother. He retired. Dude, there's an article about. I was going to say there's an article about Walters. I just saw it in Jamaican newspaper, and he said it had such a detrimental effect. It had such, like you said, and that was the word he used, demoralizing effect. Now you should put in your video, BDA. That last round when it was all over, like he was just kind of fucking playing with Walters, and then the bell rang, and fucking, and that's when what's his name, Lomachenko walks back, points to him, and goes like, gives him that ha ha ha, and that's when the look on Walter's face. He had his hands palms to the ceiling, looks at Lomachenko, looks to his corner, looks at the referee, and goes, "Nah, I'm done." It was right there and then, like he just realized, like what he said in the article, he did something like, I just realized then that there was nothing I was going to be able to do. That's why I stopped, because all I was going to do is going to make me look more and more stupid, basically. So imagine that's how talented that kid is. And Walters was no joke.
Lomachenko taught that dude how to speak Spanish. I don't know if you guys remember, but he was saying to the referee, "No mas," even though he's Jamaican.
Really?
No, he trained in Panama.
Let me say this real quick.
Oh yeah,
I get what you guys are saying about Lomachenko wrecking these guys' career, and to a certain extent, I do agree with that. Like he took a lot out of these guys, but my one thing is that none of these motherfuckers were at the beginning of their career. Teofimo's 23 years old, so it's a far cry from him taking a fucking 23-year-old and diminishing him like he did a fucking or these fucking guys that's older. Like, come on, man, he's 23.
Nah, but listen, this is my point. This is our point, though, D. This is our point, though. If experienced, world-class fighters, right, can fall to this guy mentally and just fall apart and quit. What is some kid that's never been in this situation before? Rigondeaux, I mean, look, say we like about him, a schooled amateur, a world champion, right? For a few years. Do you know what I mean? These are not just bums he's fighting. These are Nicholas Waltz, another one, knocked out Donaire, says it all, man. Do you know what I mean? So these are good fighters, and he's taken their souls from. Teofimo's 23 years old, right? He's at an age where that sort of schooling could basically end your career. Not saying he won't come back, because he will, but end his career at the top. A bit like what Jeff Lacey got against Calzaghe. I mean, Jeff Lacey never the same guy after that.
Now, let me respond to that, Stu, and then everybody else can talk. Scientifically, the fucking hippocampus of the brain doesn't even finish developing until your mid-20s. This kid could get demolished like that and not even fucking realize it. These guys are already fucking sound 30-year-old plus.
Mentally, though, it's a mental thing.
Hold up. Now, I ain't cut nobody. Hold on.
I'm not talking about physical, though. You are.
Mental.
I'm saying mental. Hold on. I'm talking mental now. You got to hear me out. The hippocampus of the brain doesn't have to do with your physical attributes. That is your brain. It's not fully developed until your mid-20s. Right? This is a fact, a scientific fucking fact. So
yeah, but what does that have to do?
Dude, can I finish, Stu? For the love of Pete, dog. Just let me get this
out. Yeah, but you're making a point that's not making any sense, D. Sorry, brother, you are.
If it's a mental thing, if he's going to break him down mentally, and he'll never be right mentally, I'm just saying, I can't really assess that because kids do dumb shit. When I was 22, 23, I did dumb shit that landed me in prison, and it didn't break me down mentally.
Listen, all I know is, I've seen a lot of young guys, that had no fear, and I'll tell you what, mate, going around arrogant, cocky, and ass whooping soon changed that. They soon found fear after that. They soon watched their mouth after. If you catch my drift, listen, mate. All it takes is one ass whooping to change all that. Forget all this sides. You analysing stuff too much here, mate. Don't care what the brain tells you at this certain age. Lomachenko in there gives you a good ass whooping, mate. You could never be the same guy.
The X-Man Walters was undefeated, and he was like 25 years old when he fought Lomachenko.
Well,
and like, go ahead, BD.
No, go ahead.
For me, I will be shocked if Teofimo quits. I will be absolutely shocked. But the thing that gets to me is the narrative going into this fight. I could understand the promoters and I could understand fanboys running with it, but some of the things that people are saying doesn't make any sense, because one of the storylines is experience versus youth, right? And I'm like, so what's the advantage that Teofimo is younger than Lomachenko? Because normally you think, okay, he'll have better stamina. Well, Lomachenko clearly has the better stamina. Throws more punches, been more rounds. The guy's stamina is completely endless. He actually gets stronger as the fight goes on. Teofimo had only won 12-round fight, so that's not it. So what is to say that he has the youth? What advantage is that? There's no advantage there. Another thing is, Teofimo is in Lomachenko's head, right? He's in Loma's head because all he's saying is, his daddy didn't shake my daddy's hand. He's an asshole. Who's in whose head? Who lives in whose head? You know what I mean? Like, it's the people got this shit twisted. Just because Lomachenko responded to some of the like childish bullshit, that he's mentally affected. No, it's the Teofimos that are mentally affected, and that's clear to see. They're like, they're butthurt because of some dumbass incident that they fucking imagined happened when it was probably just a cultural or linguistic barrier. So the narratives going into this fight got me tripping because it doesn't make any sense. It's just and I think Teofimo is a very dangerous fight for Lomachenko, and I think he can win, and I give him a better chance than some of these other guys Lomachenko has fought. But at the same time, this is far from a 50-50 fight.
Yeah. Those are idiots that say that kind of stuff, bro. That's all. You'll never hear me saying that kind of dumb shit. I'll tell you that. Never.
Good. It's interesting, man. It's interesting because, coming into this fight, one thing that I do believe will play a factor is Lopez's strength. Because, Lomachenko has fought punchers before. When I've heard people say, well, he's never fought a puncher before. He fought Walters, was a good puncher. Linares was a good puncher.
Rigondeaux's a puncher.
Yeah, more or less. Yeah. But
he's a puncher. Chacal.
Yeah, but now if Lopez comes in with substantial weight behind his shots, this guy's got speed and power. And with more weight behind it, it could, if he plays it right, he could be breaking through Lomachenko's guard, because Lomachenko, sometimes he gets a little overconfident. He just decides to block shots with his guard. But in regards to the intent of Lomachenko, he's not, I've said it before, man, he's not a boxer. He's a pressure fighter. He can fight off the back foot, but he's always putting pressure. And the most dangerous thing that Lomachenko does, and we're going to see this when we do the analysis together, it's he constantly puts pressure through all sorts of tactics, changing levels, in and out, throwaway shots, feints. He does not let guys breathe. That's what makes him different from all these other guys. Lopez has never fought a guy like that who's going to be flooding his mind with information. Can he handle it? I know he's been boxing since he was a young kid, so he's obviously strong mentally, but strong mentally against Lomachenko is a whole other thing. So that to me is going to be the biggest question going in.
Spot on, BD. Great point.
Spot on.
Good point, BD.
I agree. I agree with the physical strength, and I like the way you described it, because that is the only thing that I will agree with. Because some people are thinking, Teofimo could get inside and wrestle this dude around because he's bigger and stronger. I beg to differ, because wrestling technique will beat just brute strength when it comes to just as not just in wrestling but in boxing. Technique will beat brute strength, and Lomachenko has a wrestling background. So if this dude wants to wrestle Lomachenko, I think he's going to be surprised how easily the little man is able to like wiggle out or even trip him up and push him on. If it gets dirty like that. Now, insofar as like punching at Loma's guard, he doesn't want to be taking those punches on the guard. He wants to keep his head off the line and take a inside or outside angle and not be there for that shot, period. I agree with that part. But a lot of people are thinking that Teofimo, because of his strength, he could do something like akin to Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder. I disagree with that.
Yeah, those morons that think that Teofimo's gonna come in there. And matter of fact, Lomachenko's been actually practicing wrestling during this camp for people that don't know. But I will say this: those are fucking morons that come with those fucking narratives. Like, this is not gonna be a Jeff Horn that's gonna come in there and try to rough and bully goddamn Lomachenko up. No, and I don't think that the question really should be Lomachenko's skill set. If you're questioning Lomachenko's skill set, you're an idiot. That's first and foremost. I think the question should really be, does Teofimo have enough skill with that power to get the job done? I think that should be the question. Because Lomachenko's skill set, to me, is the best pure boxer in the fucking sport right now. So his skill set shouldn't be a question. Does Teofimo, is he going to bring enough to the table along with those attributes to get the job done? I think that should be the question.
I'm kind of wondering if his power's a little overrated too, because Comey had been hurt by Robert Easter, who's not a puncher, like 2 times. And the Nakatani kid, he's like 6 feet. And I know he's got the physical dimensions as an advantage, that Nakatani guy, but he's still skinny as a beanpole. And that guy, he couldn't fucking, Teofimo couldn't hurt him at all.
Nakatani was a tough fighter, and a lot of people fucking underestimate these fucking Eastern European and Japanese fighters, and I'm going to leave it there. That's exactly what happens in this fucking sport. When we start talking about Japanese fighters and Eastern European fighters, they get fucking underrated. This is why they come in the game and blow this shit up, because don't nobody want to give them the credit for being good fighters. And I'm going to leave that there.
Well, they're good fighters, but Edison Tatley and all those guys, the French guy, were they world class?
Nakatani was tough.
You said Nakatani, now you're throwing all these other names. I just said I'm going to leave it at Nakatani.
Hey, I'm just bringing up a couple points. You don't got to get all fucking bitchy, bro.
Hey, with
I'm serious, man. That's the thing with you. Nobody can bring up a point because you fucking want to like act, I don't know, like it's real weird, man.
Bro, you just said a point about Nakatani. I do that shit.
I'm just wondering. You want to shut everybody down like you're a fucking expert, man.
No, I mean, everybody wants to do that, right? Like, if
no, not really.
I'm an expert in my own right, but I will say
that's where I might fail. That's where I might fail, dude. I never come on the show looking to like better anybody or shut anybody down or fucking get over on anybody, man. I learned too, man. I'll admit.
That's because you're high, Jimmy.
Precise taught me on something.
Recognize.
I'm going to learn and have some rapping, but I want to say too to Lomachenko and Fimo. A lot of people talking about Fimo's punching strength. I give him there. He's got crazy punching strength. But wrestling, like if they were to come to square up in the center of the ring, Lomachenko's been wrestling since he was a little kid, like Precise said, and he's got great center of gravity, great balance. I think he'd be at a fucking disadvantage if he's trying to get in, go shoulder to shoulder, and start trying to muck him up with strength. I think fucking Lomachenko personally will spin him and use his weight, because he'll have to come at him with weight. He'll spin him and then he'll make him pay for that. That's just my opinion.
Lomachenko is very hard to hold. Watch Lomachenko. He's very hard to grab in the hold. He's constantly wiggling out the hold, trying to hit you. He's just switching. He's moving. He's just very hard to grab hold of. So you could pay for that. And that's recognise saying he's an expert in his own right. I'll tell you one thing: he is an expert at, and that's disappearing off the face of the earth. But there's no better.
Wait a second. How about you? What about you? You did the same thing.
Look, if Teofimo starts swinging at air,
I'm going to say Gonzalez. Say again, recognised.
I said you done the same thing too. I'm just like you.
I did. I did. I did keep in touch. I did tell Butch I was still alive. You went completely missing off the radar.
What happened was I turned off my social media a little too long. It was meant for like a couple of weeks, but then anyway, look.
But the thing is, recognise it gets quite nice, doesn't it? You start to appreciate what life's about without these fucking savages winding you up every week.
Dude, I was.
That's how he's been doing for years.
Hey, what I was gonna say about Nakatani, right? That's his name, the Japanese fighter who I don't know much about, except that he fought Teofimo, and I thought he did a good job. He lost the fight, okay, but he was gamed, and he did. he did use a lot of things against the inexperienced Teofimo Lopez, who's got a lot of talent in terms of strength, fast reflex, good enough power. All that adds up to good power. And that's his chance. That's his chance. He could be a special fighter, especially if he beats Lomachenko, because Lomachenko is gonna give him everything he can bring to the table. And so Teofimo has to, like, if he's better than most people thought, we'll see it that night. But I don't see. My thing is, I don't think if he doesn't spark Loma out or hurt him. Think of Sugar Shane Mosley versus what's the guy? Vernon Forrest. Okay, Vernon Forrest didn't get him out of there, but he hurt him, and he got his respect, and he was able to do his thing, which was jab, overhand right, hook to the body, hook uppercuts, all that stuff. You see, he took advantage of hurting Shane Mosley and keeping him hurt, because Shane Mosley had the blazing hand speed. He's going to beat you to the punch, right? That's the kind of guy he is. He's going to pressure you and beat you to the punch and more than likely hurt you and knock you out. Okay? That's basically, in his own way, what he has to try to do to Lomachenko. If it turns into a chess match, turns into a boxing match, which is what Lomachenko usually does to boxers, that's why I say he wins easily. He might be a special fighter, but he's going to have to prove it that night. He's going to have to prove it, and it's not going to be easy, because that guy has a game. He has game plans.
What if he starts swinging at air? Recognize he starts swinging and missing, and he's the bigger, more muscular guy.
I mean, even if you're, here's the thing, you could hit Lomachenko, but the question is where you hit him, right? Are you hitting his glove? Are you hitting his shoulder? Are you hitting his, his arms? Those are the things that are not going to get it done, because while you're hitting him with those shots, he's catching you flush in your face or to your body. So those are the things that Teofimo is up against. He's up against what I believe is a machine that's well schooled, that's more experienced by a lot, not even by a little bit, by a lot. But there have been special fighters that have won fights like that, where they were like, look, we think you're going to be great. Put him in there with a guy who's already been proven that he's great, and win. I don't think Teofimo could do that. That's basically the way I see it. I don't think Teofimo could beat this guy.
That's an interesting point, man, because it brings us to the psychology too, not just the skills, but the mental fortitude of both fighters. Like I said earlier, Lomachenko is a pressure fighter. Now, coming into this fight, we've been hearing both fighters saying that talking smack, for lack of a better word. And Lomachenko, he has been saying, I forget exactly what he said, but he said that when he knocks out Lopez or stops him, he wants to stare him down, or his father, something like that. So he's got mean intentions now coming in. Now, the thing I like about Lomachenko is he's usually not he doesn't play it up in the ring. He doesn't do antics or mock a fighter, except when they mock him, like when he was beating Sosa, and then Sosa started talking smack to him, and then that's when Lomachenko started doing the matador thing. But he's going in there with a mean streak, man. Now, my thing is this: they both trained by their fathers, right? Like, if one of the guys starts catching a beating or something, what's going to happen with the fathers? Are they going to throw in the towel too early, or are they going to be like some of these fathers that, like a Sean Porter's his father, like they go into war and they're not afraid of letting the violence go on?
I want to see them get in the ring like Floyd against
Lomachenko's father. Also, I think that Teofimo is too fucking stupid to quit. Like, he should probably quit. But this kid, I don't think it's to quit in him. So I think his father would be that towel before Lomo's father, in that situation, fam.
All right, guys, we should end the show. It's been Jesus, more than 3 hours.
4 hours, something.
Fucking.
Oh yeah, hey D, and I wasn't discrediting European or Japanese fighters. That's all. You said that. I said that. No, I wasn't.
You were lying.
I said people are not respecting Japanese fighters. Now, you're one of
I respect them.
People, but I was talking about people. Not you, Gonzalo.
All right.
Oh, okay. I get it now. Your style, the one they're talking about. Your style.
Steven Schneider, thank you for your contribution.
Apologize,
man.
Gonzalo.
Thank you, Steven. Everybody speak. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get the hell out of here. Thank you for joining us, guys. Great show. Let's smoke the peace pipe, do some peyote.
Hey, Bucho, real quick, man, though, real quick. How many people were high tonight? Because I know D likes to, self-medicate.
I was high.
Yeah.
I know Jimmy likes to. I know.
Yeah.
Stoned as
brownies.
Stoned as a pig.
All right.
I got wrecked about 30 minutes ago. Seriously, I didn't even know where I was. That's why I didn't talk for like 10 minutes, dude. I swear to God, dude, I took a long rip off a fucking pond, dude. I sat there and I didn't even recognize my cat. I'm like, where the fuck did that animal come from? It was, dude, I needed a hug. It was bad. Peace, gentlemen. Yes.
Jimmy, real quick.
Peace out.
Just real quick.
Peace,
do you
man.
do the edibles or?
Nah, dude, I don't like the high I get off edibles, hash, shit. I got glass. I make my own pipes too. I just sat back and it was my neck. Dude, this huge thing, and I'm like, fucking bongs always give me. And I used real structure. I took a huge pull, and literally, dude, I had that like 15 seconds. I'm like, oh shit, where am I? It was, I needed a hug, dude. I really did.
All
right, guys, man. Listen, thanks for having me on. Great show tonight.
Thanks for coming, man. Thanks, everybody.
All right, brothers.
Hey, remember the movie Cheech and Chong, BDA, when the uncle gets drunk and he jumps into the bushes? Charlie Company, off that tricycle.
I know. I don't think I saw that one. I saw the first one. Was that the
He
first
got
one?
fucked up and he was riding a tricycle with a sidecar. And he yells, Charlie Company, and he jumps into the fucking bushes.
I know that feeling. Fucking flashbacks from them.
All right, guys.
I appreciate you guys.
Take care.
Peace to everyone, man.
Guys, have a good night. Thank you for joining us in the chat. Long show, but it was exciting, so that's what we want. Good job in the chat, people. Some good comments. We'll see you next time.
Strength by the breath of life. I'm gonna stay.